might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Paid for by government.com. Here's your chance to get 5 iconic United States silver dollars spanning the last 150 years in one amazing set. Experts agree this is a must-have for silver coin buyers. That's right, all 5 silver dollars are legal tender official United States mint coins. If you call 1-800-386-7194 right now, we'll send you this ultimate 5-piece American silver dollar set with each silver coin in extremely fine or brilliant uncirculated condition. Guaranteed. This set includes every type of U.S. silver dollars in American history, issued from 1878 to 2024. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 150 years of U.S. silver dollars 5-piece set. Plus, receive a bonus display case, an information booklet, and free shipping. Don't miss your chance. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 5-piece set of iconic U.S. silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-386-7194.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Rajamanar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding and Sonic initiatives across the board, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles. We have been partnering with iHeart across multiple platforms, both for brand enhancement as well as for performance marketing. I think the cut-through of the message and the recall of the brand are much higher. Also, that has been very beneficial for us to integrate some of our campaigns into the native content of iHeart. It has been a very nice partnership, and it continues to be very strong into the future.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Tuesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day. And we do have a good program for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out in the world. Deb will do that at 3:20 with Woke News. 4 o'clock, it's What'd You Do That's New? Deb's Choice. We'll go over that, find out what Jack has to offer for us this afternoon. 5 o'clock, it's Only Money. Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth will drop by to talk a little financial news for us. We'll have trivia as well. Tom Seguro tickets to give away coming up at the Kia Center on March 14th. Also, we'll do Ross Thoughts, ended up with Last Call. Your calls, text, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight Ahead producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy Eileen Ross Padgett.
If you played the game Twisted Metal, I like you.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. That's where you can watch us do our thing by logging onto our YouTube channel. It's amazing, people.
It is.
Life-changing.
Just Wow.
Like, look, if you've had problems getting pregnant and you go to JimColbertLive.com, I'm not saying it's going to help, but it has helped.
It's worked for 25% of the show.
It really has.
Studies are saying.
The studies show. That's the biggest crutch in the history of talk radio. I read a story.
Yeah.
Studies show.
I can study about anything. If I look at a book, I don't even know if I have to read it. I'm studying.
How you guys doing today? Good Tuesday for everybody?
Oh, it's such a beautiful day.
Yeah, glorious weather, huh?
I think a bigger crock is...
Okay, Jack's going right into the hate.
I guess so, yeah.
Internet's ablaze. Like, it could be like 2 tweets and controversy. You know, this is controversial on the internet, blah, blah, blah. You know, and...
The internet's on fire.
Yeah. 2 tweets.
Yeah.
Or X's.
But that tells a story, right? That gets you to click. You know, 2 people who don't mean anything tweeting about something that they have no impact on doesn't really lead you to go and click on a story of that nature now, does it? That there was a very salacious story that's very interesting today. And this fire started burning a couple of months ago with a decision that was made. But this has actually been burning a little bit. And I wanted to ask you guys who you think the most shocking of this would be. So currently, I don't know if you guys have heard today. Are you familiar with P. Diddy? Sean Puffy Combs. Are you familiar with that name?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Sounds
everybody is familiar with Sean Diddy, Puffy Combs, Puff Daddy, Puff Diddy, Diddy,
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy,
Diddy P.
Diddy P. He did.
He probably did.
Yeah,
that's not the question.
Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening with him right now. I guess a former producer of his has now come out with a lawsuit, $50 million or something like that.
Like of his latest album. So this isn't like
this isn't
back
something
in the
that happened
day
in
producer.
2012, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the claim is that there was some sexual assault. He was forced to do things that he didn't want to do with people in a house during these parties. 50 Cent had to come out and basically said, I didn't ever go to his parties because it was just not my kind of vibe. Then he breaks that down. 50 known in the hip-hop industry for like being one of those guys that kind of spills the beans a little bit. And this started burning a few years back when there were a number of allegations about him and his crew. And then the thing that really, in my opinion, just set the tone for when it was going to drop. Are you familiar, Jack? I think we can play a little bit of this. Are you familiar with an artist named Cassie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
All right.
Cassie did a number for me.
Now Cassie back in the day had one of the hottest songs of all time called "You and Me," and I don't know if you know it. Jack's going to play it here in a second. Legendary intro, cool, really cool song. Really attractive girl.
This is like honestly, the sexiest song I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, this is a very sexy song. If you haven't heard this tune.
Is that weird? Can I say that?
No,
it's
not
fine.
at all.
Are you guys going to look at me weird? Stop looking at me like that.
Yeah. Mine's an Ace of Base B-side, so it's odd.
And you have to listen to October London before you say anything.
Right. So this song's called You and Me, and it was...
Me and You.
Me and You? Yeah. Me and You. Okay. Turn it up a little bit. So a really very sexy kind of song, really interesting beat. Yeah, as a very young lady. And of course, she came out a few months back and said, hey, look, this guy's a bad cat. Like, he really got me in some really bad situations, and I've got evidence to prove it. Of course, Puffy's like, no, didn't happen. 2 days later, what happened?
I believe he said,
Yeah. And then he did that same move to write a check. Because he paid her off and shut her down. That's a bad sign. If you don't know anything about sexual assault cases, and if you just stumbled upon these, when somebody pays somebody off and then continues to be innocent, obviously that's a dichotomy that you can't really accept as truth. Because you don't pay people off if you think you're innocent, even to shut down quote-unquote bad media. You're a rapper, and you've been a rapper in the scene with some sketchy stuff around you for a little bit now. Because wasn't he tied up in the whole Tupac thing?
I mean, in some
in that
shape or form,
right? And
somewhere,
and has had the reputation of being kind of one of those guys that is really kind of a hard cut, kind of a difficult leader within his troops, right? So my question to you is, I don't think it's that big of a shock that Diddy is facing some stuff like this. I don't know if it comes as a shock to anybody because of the smoke we've seen from the past, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, because I started thinking about this today. Who would be the most shocking person to, at this point in their life, let's say down in their career, 20, 30 years into their career, to turn out to be a really bad person?
Tom
like
Hanks.
it doesn't have to be an actor or actress or anything like that. Just a person. I would think Tom Hanks would almost kind of lead the list. He would almost be that kind of white buffalo in that midst because he does have that nice guy persona.
But they try. I mean, the conspiracy theorists tried to kind of pin that whole baby eating.
Yeah, tried to put him in the pedophile line, the whole 9 yards. You know, Clint. And the thing is this has happened in Hollywood for years. You know, Clint Eastwood was considered one of those people that, it was, you never saw Clint Eastwood with scandal, right?
Right.
And then you find out how he treated that woman, Sandra Locke, that was all in the movies with him.
Right.
And it was abhorrent
I
he
never
did to her.
heard that.
Blacklisted her, the whole 9 yards. It was really, really bad stuff.
Well, he was yelling at a chair after all.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just kind of interesting because how everybody believed that he was that guy. And then you kind of learn down the road that maybe he wasn't that guy.
I think for us growing up with the Puddin' Pop, I mean, Bill Cosby was as shocking as any could shock me. Like Harvey Weinstein, the Hollywood movie producer, you could see it, but not America's Dad, not the guy who sold pudding pops.
I think he's the all-timer. I think he and OJ are the all-timers.
I remember my mom and her friends when they were new divorcees watching that Hertz commercial of OJ running through the airport to get to his rental car, and they would all sit around and go, "Oh, I bet you he's just the nicest guy."
Well, the funny thing is
because he had that persona.
But even with OJ, you think to yourself, he played professional athletics, and he was a superstar beyond superstars. You knew that he was going to be into some stuff. You have a lot coming to you at that level, and I think everybody with male athletes, especially in like the 60s and 70s,
oh yeah,
that you would think that they had their fun and stuff. Cosby's never a guy you ever gave credit for doing any of that stuff from the very onset of his career. There would be no point in his career where you could go, oh yeah, remember after that show how he kind of lost it a little bit? There was never even any of that until that whole stuff kind of started hitting. But I think Hanks would be the one.
I agree.
Tim Tebow.
Tebow would be, oh my God, dude.
I see where you're going.
Yeah. Tebow would be a bad one. Well, is Tebow even relevant enough right now for that to really be that big of a shock?
Yeah.
You think Tebow's still relevant?
I mean, he's still famous as hell.
Yeah, there's no question he's famous, but do you think his voice has the same impact that it had like 5 years ago?
But I would say Tebow's more famous than Diddy right now.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
I mean, before the allegations, I think Diddy got a little bit, picked up his fame a little bit since he's gotten accused, but he hasn't done anything.
Yeah. I will tell you, man. So interestingly, do you guys listen to Smartless at all? I know Jack does occasionally.
Yeah.
Do you guys listen to the Smartless podcast by any chance? Kelly Clarkson is on this week's podcast with Smartless, and when Kelly Clarkson is that person who you look at it and you're like, wow, they literally dragged her out of the holler and made her mega famous, but they didn't take the holler out of her, and you can hear all of that on this podcast. Like for an hour, she just is like as real AF as you could possibly be. She doesn't really have that gear. And one of the things she talks about being in Hollywood and being around the industry is how unbelievably dishonest and truthless it is. And then to hear those other three guys who've been in that industry for so long talk about that very thing, like you just kind of learn how to lie to people all the time because that's the language out there. And she's just talking about how crazy that was, and to learn that.
I remember, and I still am conflicted about this. One of my greatest of all times, David Bowie. I love David Bowie, but there are plenty of accusations.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I find that even more interesting than anything else is that when does it stick? When does it not? Cassie and those allegations happened a couple months ago, but it didn't get the amount of news that it's getting today when it comes to P. Diddy and his bad things that he does.
And it was Cassie. It wasn't like Cher, or it wasn't like Sierra or anything like this. She had one hit.
Yeah, she was still up and coming.
Yeah, and one hit, and then pretty much just got buried by Beyonce and all the other, unbelievably talented singers and performers. She didn't really have the total package. She just had that one song, and it kind of hit.
Texting services weighing in with another celebrity that would be heartbreaking if they turned out to be sideways. Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah, God, could you imagine?
That would be horrible. That'd be like Betty White.
What's the worst female this has happened to? Like when you find out about stuff like this, what's the worst female that you found out was a bad person like this? Like down the road, like
Ellen DeGeneres is the only one I could think of because she has such a sweet rep.
Yeah.
But even then, she didn't there was nothing on paper. Like there wasn't like
just people on her set going, she's kind of mean.
Yeah. Like it's. I'm not saying that they aren't right or wrong. I'm just saying that there wasn't like a specific event with a smoking gun sort of really bad event that got caught in front of the public.
But there isn't one. I don't believe that there's one of these women that it's had like. I would think maybe the closest thing would be the colleges scandal, right? With Lori Loughlin and William H. Macy's wife.
Yeah, because those are still affecting their careers.
And you think about that. I mean, and even it wasn't. I mean, okay.
It's not on the same level as sex assault.
Right. I was going to say, I'm not saying it's victimless because somebody didn't get a spot because she was there, but you understand what I'm saying when I say victimless.
Yeah.
I would think that Lori Loughlin would be one of those where you just couldn't believe somebody so shiny, made for Hallmark TV could be so insidious, like to be bribing people in school institutions to get their kid in there, like the ultimate entitlement. But it's not like lascivious like you would have something like the Weinstein thing would be.
I don't know what it exactly means or what it exactly says, but I know it says something that we're struggling to find a woman to fall from grace.
Isn't that great, though? Kind of.
I mean...
Well, Danny Masterson's in prison right now, a guy that was on television not even, 6-7 years ago with that show? Maybe a little bit longer than that?
Yeah, I don't know what that says, but it's got to say something.
Yeah. Who would it be, guys? Leona Helmsley?
But she was never a good character.
She was never a good character, and she was just like a tax cheat, basically. Again, she's not up there slapping ass, or grabbing crotches or anything, or forcing dudes to do stuff to get parts.
1-0.
Yeah.
Women take the lead.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Deb, got some news for us?
Yeah, we are going to talk about a family filing a lawsuit against Disney over a woman's death. A health emergency has been declared in Sanford. And what is the most popular bill in America? The 1, the 5, the 10, the 100? We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Real Radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Try it with Angel.
What?
You know what?
So uncomfortable.
I want to let you know. I appreciate a lot of things that you do. I love you, man.
Yeah, you're the man, dude.
That's all you got.
I got goosebumps. I hate this.
Oh, see?
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
There's a couple accidents to watch out for this afternoon. Red Bug Lake Road eastbound near Tuscaloosa Road. The left lane is blocked. Authorities are clearing up an accident on Colonial Drive eastbound near the Greenway. 2 left lanes are blocked there. Travel with caution. On I-4 this afternoon, westbound, there's a bit of delays between Sand Lake Road and approaching State Road 429. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. No one does spring travel like Amtrak. That's because now more kids ages 2 to 12 ride for 50% off. So not only will you travel comfortably, you'll save too. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply.
Elevate the look of your home, all while saving money on your utility bills with new windows from Renewal by Andersen. All of their windows are custom made. So let's say you want some of those really chic black frames on your windows, but they're not HOA approved. That's not a problem with Renewal by Andersen because every single window is custom built. So that means the outside of your home can be HOA approved and inside can be approved by you, meeting your decor and design needs for your home. And if you have an historic home, Renewal by Andersen can accommodate you too and are able to match your color and style. Nothing is off the shelf because, again, every single window is custom built. Renewal by Andersen has a great offer to help you get started now through the month of February. Buy 4 windows and or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Some restrictions apply. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go to rbafla.com for complete details. License number CGC 1527613.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Moms, we all wish there were 2 more of us just to get through the day. Preparing lunches, snacks, dinners. We've all got a lot on our plates. That's where Fresh from Florida comes in. They have hundreds of recipes that make mealtime quick, easy, and healthy. And shopping for locally grown produce is a snap. Just look for the Fresh from Florida logo. When it's almost dinner time and you have to be 3 places at once, go to the one place that counts. FreshFromFlorida.com. There's sunshine in every bite.
One of the dangers of buying a lab-grown diamond versus a natural diamond is you could be paying way too much.
Somebody is getting a product for $6,000 and they sell it for $55,000. That's a sin. That's a crime as far as I'm concerned.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire says lab-grown diamonds are being marketed as less expensive alternatives, but the truth is their inherent value is dropping fast due to mass production.
You go try to sell that man-grown diamond back to the market, nobody wants it. There's no market for it.
Keith says just be careful. You need to get all the facts before you take a shortcut that you could regret down the road if the trend continues.
What you're buying is a throwaway diamond as far as I'm concerned. The fish tanks are waiting and they're going to be filled.
At International Diamond Center, we're proud to say all of our diamonds come from Mother Earth and took millions of years to make and are real, rare, precious, and ethically sourced. International Diamond Center, helping people navigate the diamond industry for more than 40 years.
When he presents that to his future fiancée, you want him to be proud.
4 Orlando locations and always at shopidc.com.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is priceless. I'm attorney Mo DeWitt, and we have access to every single traffic camera in the state of Florida. Injured on the go, just call Mo, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Paid for by government.com. Here's your chance to get 5 iconic United States silver dollars spanning the last 150 years in one amazing set. Experts agree this is a must-have for silver coin buyers. That's right, all 5 silver dollars are legal tender official United States mint coins. If you call 1-800-386-7194 right now, we'll send you this ultimate 5-piece American silver dollar set with each silver coin in extremely fine or brilliant uncirculated condition. Guaranteed. This set includes every type of U.S. silver dollars in American history, issued from 1878 to 2024. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 150 years of U.S. silver dollars 5-piece set. Plus, receive a bonus display case, an information booklet, and free shipping. Don't miss your chance. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 5-piece set of iconic U.S. silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-386-7194.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
History is beautiful, brutal, and often ridiculous. Join me, Ben Bullitt.
And me, Noel Brown, as we dive into some of the strangest stories from across the span of human civilization in Ridiculous History.
Whether we're exploring the accidental invention of hold music,
or how people used to rent pineapples, join us to hear the many ways history can be oh so ridiculous.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your favorite podcast.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the 4th window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
You probably don't know this or care, but we have web goals. So go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Not somebody that I'd be surprised about now, but when it happened, Kevin Spacey, I had such a almost godlike status with Kevin Spacey, you know, between all the different movies, the I mean, just the usual suspects alone, I never expected that from Kevin Spacey.
A little insight on that one a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I knew a guy who worked with him a couple of times and said that...
Really?
Oh, yeah. That maybe he was a little forward. Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us years before that happened, by the way.
And then,
a few years right before that all came out, he told me that.
And then it got even weirder because one of his last movies was called Baby Driver.
Right.
Someone did come up, though, the texting service with a female who fell from grace after being lauded for a while, Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
Who's kind of like been
a little bit
out of sight, out of...
Well, what'd she do?
Remember, she was accused of a hostile work environment, sexual assault.
Well, Martha Stewart's another one who, was up, down, and then back up again.
That's right.
And hanging with Snoop, man.
How great is that? That's a great story.
That is a great story.
Still a good-looking woman. 81 years old, Martha Stewart, if you can believe that.
You got to thank for Martha. That's
she's a good-looking woman.
Hell yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ross are right over there. Let's get a check of the news. Here's Deb. I'll get it right eventually.
That's all right.
It's time for Woke News.
We'll give you another 5 more.
Warm up to it.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
Maybe even 10.
You were thinking about Martha.
Yeah, that's right. Here's
All right. Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. A family is suing Walt Disney World here in Central Florida over a woman's deadly allergic reaction. The wrongful death lawsuit claims the victim, who was also a doctor, ate at Raglan Road Irish Pub at Disney Springs shortly before she died last October. Now, the restaurant reportedly reassured the woman that her food could be made to accommodate her severe dairy and nut allergy. A medical examiner report, though, shows the victim did indeed die from an allergic reaction. The family is asking for at least $50,000 in damages from the company.
This is an odd story, and I'll tell you why. I was talking to somebody this morning about this very story, and, she hit herself with the pin. Like, she had an EpiPen. She died. It was 45 minutes after she ate. And if you look, most allergic reactions, and I'm not trying to cast aspersion on the case, it was just kind of the timing is odd for this. If you look, most severe allergies with people who have severe food allergies, like she did, and by the way, they asked twice to get reaffirmed that the food was going to be fine, that most of those allergic reactions happen within 10 or 20 minutes. Now, they say they can go up to a couple hours, but guaranteed within 2 hours, if they're going to have an effect, it's going to have an effect. It's just odd to have it hit this hard 45 minutes later.
Well, maybe it just shows that the epinephrine that she hit herself with the EpiPen just wasn't simply enough to overcome how much she may have ingested, not knowing there was that much in her food.
Her husband wasn't even there. I mean, they had to go to the hospital. They weren't together. She was by herself shopping.
Oh.
Yeah. Her husband, I believe, and her mother had to be called and rushed to the hospital to get over there and she'd already passed before they got there, I believe. It's a tragic story. Something is really odd about it. I don't know what it is. And the fact that, is it a Florida law that you can only sue for $50,000?
I don't know if that or like the other case, a texter suggested, we were talking about the other lawsuit with the woman struck by lightning in Winter Springs, that it's kind of like the starter amount, and maybe we can ask Ray next time he's in if it can go up that. That's why you said at least 50.
At least 50, but this is the second or third case where you hear just that $50,000 mark.
Doesn't seem fair for a death, does it?
Or and of a physician.
Yeah, so probably that it's, that's the minimum, but it can go upwards from there.
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, if you live in Sanford, heads up, a health emergency is in effect for that city in Seminole County. Sanford commissioners voted yesterday to approve the declaration after a mere 13 million gallons of sewage spilled into Lake Monroe last month. The order will make funding available to quickly make improvements to the city's 2 water treatment facilities. Officials also agreed to pay a company more than $100,000 for the next year to provide maintenance at those plants.
Wow. For a second, I thought Inter Miami showed up early for the Orlando City match.
Speaking of Miami, the surge in confirmed measles cases in Broward continues. Good segue, Ross. There are now 9 cases, with a 7th case connected to the outbreak at Weston's Manatee Bay Elementary School. 2 others are in kids under the age of 4. Another Florida measles case is in an adult in Polk County. The Florida Department of Health reported a resident in their 20s came down with the measles sometime in the last week. That case is travel-related. This person, though, is the first adult in Florida to be diagnosed with measles this year. Statewide, Florida has had, like I said, 9 cases, more than any other state.
And we're still, the official stance of the government here in Florida is anti-vaccine.
Let the parents handle it, Jack.
Well, in the meantime,
They know better.
as you just alluded to, Jack, one South Florida congresswoman is calling for the immediate termination of Florida's Surgeon General amid the measles outbreak. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz says Dr. Joseph Ladapo should be declaring a public health emergency and requiring all non-vaccinated children to quarantine for 3 weeks as per CDC guidance. Ladapo, who was appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis, has granted parents, as you mentioned, the authority to determine how long their children should stay home from school. And what's interesting is how long the measles virus can hang out in the air.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like for a few hours. So if you walk into a classroom where someone who's, is measles infected but aren't showing any symptoms yet, and you come in that room right after them.
Yep.
All right. Legislation aimed at restricting the potency of recreational marijuana is, pardon the pun, going up in smoke in the Florida legislature.
Oh, really?
This is good news, right?
Yeah. State lawmakers will not be advancing bills that call for caps on THC levels if marijuana products become legal in Florida as a recreational. A Senate version of the legislation stalled in committee while the House sponsor tells Politico the measure's dead. The Florida Supreme Court is considering whether a proposed recreational marijuana measure will appear on the November ballot. Okay, I thought this was kind of cool because of all of the places that would be trying this first up in Apalachicola, Florida.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nice. I like that.
And the Panhandle would be the last place that I would expect. I would expect Orlando.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
Maybe even Tampa. But
right.
no. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office is going to be the first one in the state to use a new life-saving tool. Sheriff A.J. Smith says his office got its first shipment of OpV last week. OpV is a nasal spray that can save someone suffering from an opioid overdose.
Okay.
Now, deputies will have this and Narcan.
All right.
One difference between the two is that OpV stays in the body longer, and that could cause more persistent withdrawal symptoms. But Smith says, hey, that's a small price to pay if it saves someone's life.
Right.
He also tells WCTV his deputies will be trained on using OpV and could start using it next week, which, of course, is getting all the more closer to spring break, which starts in March.
The irony of you having to snort the drug that saves you from overdosing.
Right? Snort this so we can save you from snorting that.
Well, speaking of that, authorities have responded to the home of Donald Trump Jr. Out in Jupiter after he received a letter with an unidentified white powder inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Trump Jr.
Did they
took
test
it
that
in.
like the powder they found at the White House?
Right. Trump Jr. took it in and opened the letter with white powder then flying out. Thankfully, initial tests were inconclusive, but authorities do not think the powder is deadly.
I kind of can't believe that he opens his own mail. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I mean, that's really kind of shocking to me. Somebody that's divisive,
right?
Hello, from that family. I would, if I was in that family's position and I knew that half the country wasn't a fan, I don't think I'd ever open mail sent to my house.
I would hold everything up in light.
That'd be somebody else's job. Sorry,
shake it.
Anyway, I just wanted to know what the white substance is. I know that they're not going to come out and say that it's anthrax, but now I'm curious. Is it
talcum powder? Or
what is it?
Booger sugar.
As I say,
did a shipment come in?
His February order?
Well, if it's something not illegal, that's when I get real curious. It could be Pixie, like little candy. What is it?
Somebody just trying to scare him.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
It is, man.
Exactly.
Well,
but they'll be
with a
scared.
Pretty hateful letter, too, I believe, was part of it.
And, I mean,
with
the person sending it, they're going to be looking at serious prison time now.
Yeah.
So even if it is powdered sugar,
right.
this person could be looking at some serious prison time.
Don Jr., I hate your guts, but here's a little drywall mud to be able to take care of that.
Have to spackle anything? All right. Well, we had talked about this yesterday as breaking news during the show where a bomb scare is responsible for disrupting operations at Orlando International Airport. Yeah, Orlando police responded to Terminal B about 5:30 yesterday afternoon after someone spotted an unattended bag. Thankfully, they said something, right? They just didn't assume, that's someone's lost luggage. They'll probably be back. So the terminal was closed for about 3 mere hours. And flights were delayed before the all clear was given.
Probably didn't affect too many people.
No, not at all. Yeah, nothing to see here.
Too many thousand people.
Yeah. All right, it's only February. Gird your loins, boys and girls. But sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic Hurricane Alley are already hitting summer levels.
Oh, yeah.
Brian McNulty, a senior marine sciences researcher at the University of Miami, calls the temperatures, quote, unbelievable, end quote. McNulty says if the warm temperatures continue into hurricane season, Florida could see an above average number of extreme storms, and the activity could begin earlier than June, something we've been seeing for the last several years, except for last hurricane season. That was the only one that seemed to behave. The warm Atlantic also spells trouble, of course, for Florida's delicate corals.
Yeah, by the way, don't worry. We just have an iceberg out there that broke free and that's floating around. It's the size of a small country, and it's melting.
Here.
Yeah. So if you have waterfront property on the East Coast, I would suggest just making sure that you are aware of what's going to be happening over the next 10 years.
We should probably debate climate change for a few more decades. Before we do anything.
Well, it's so funny you talk about the rise in sea level over there, Jimmy, because new images from NASA are showing that the land major East Coast cities are built on is sinking.
There you go.
Areas from New England to Florida were surveyed using satellite data and ground-based GPS sensors to map the motion. Now, according to the data, major cities like, New York City, Baltimore, and Norfolk, Virginia, are built on land that sank between 2007 and 2020. Now, it doesn't sound big. The land sank by an average of 1 to 2 millimeters per year, but in some counties in Delaware, Maryland, Georgia, and South Carolina saw their land sink twice or 3 times as fast.
There you go. Everything's fine.
Say it for me, Jack.
We do.
No, we're not, because today is National Strawberry Day.
Yes,
you know it's getting ready to go. Final preparations are underway for Florida Strawberry Festival.
Little hint real quick. A little strawberry hint, everybody, right? The earlier pick them in the season, the sweeter they are.
Really?
That's right.
I did not know that.
The earliest berries in the season are always the sweetest.
Now, see, I would have thought letting them on the vine a little bit longer would have made them sweeter.
That's not the case.
Wow.
Wasn't yesterday also pistachios?
It was, yeah.
And aren't strawberries a member of the rose family?
They are.
This is a real charcuterie board week.
It really is. An average, each strawberry has an average of how many seeds?
120.
Whoa, that's a good guess, Jack.
90.
I counted once on a stimulant.
Okay.
Ooh. 106.
Oh, you should have gone higher.
Damn it, I wanted to go 124.
200 is the answer.
Well, hundreds of thousands of people are expected to attend the event in Plant City, which kicks off officially on Thursday. Some of this year's musical headliners include country artist Cody Johnson, Flo Rida, because what makes you think of strawberries like Flo Rida, and Foreigner.
Yeah.
More than 2,500 volunteers will help keep everything running. The festival has also launched a new app to make everything from parking to finding food vendors easier. The Strawberry Festival will run through March 10th.
There you go.
And if you love strawberry shortcake or strawberry over biscuits, I guess they do both there at the Strawberry Florida Festival. You can get that usual sponge cake, or you can get it Southern style with it over a biscuit.
What I like to do is another tip, little chef tip here for you. Take whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, and put it in a stainless steel bowl and whip it with not with your whipper, just do it with a hand whisk.
Okay.
And get it not till it's cream, like where you see where it stands up, just short of that, where it's still, if you put your finger in it and you pull your finger out, within a few seconds, you'll not be able to tell you put your finger in there. Then toss your strawberries in it and eat it. Oh, God.
Or before you do that, you cut the top off, put a little Chambord in the strawberry, then dip it in the cream.
That's not a bad idea either,
there you
friend.
go, Bradshaw.
And by the way, the
I saw 9.5 weeks. I know this stuff.
The champagne strawberry thing is for real, too. If you haven't had champagne and strawberries together, give that a shot. That's the old Pretty Woman thing.
That's right. That's right.
But it's real. It's legit. It's a magical pairing. Very good.
Speaking of magical.
All right.
This next story is going to be magic to the ears of parents who are paying tuition and students in some case. Now, this is one particular school, but this is a
crazy story.
What? Oh, you know this one?
This is a crazy fun story.
Oh, do you have this one? Then I'll just stick with the bill.
I don't have it. I just read it this morning.
Okay. Well, students attending a Bronx medical school will never have to pay tuition again thanks to a massive donation. The Montefiore Albert Einstein College of Medicine has announced that it has received what they call a transformational gift, the largest made to any medical school in the country. The historic $1 billion donation comes from Dr. Ruth Gottsman, chair of the Einstein Board of Trustees. Now, all current fourth-year students will get their spring 2024 tuition reimbursed, and starting in August, all students moving forward will receive free tuition. The college's president and CEO says the money is intended to attract a talented and diverse pool of individuals who may not otherwise have the means to pursue a medical education.
This, by the way, this is in perpetuity. No one is ever going to pay for a tuition at that school again. The reason why? This woman's husband was a close friend of Warren Buffett, and early in the days of Berkshire Hathaway, created a portfolio of Berkshire Hathaway stock. She never even knew it existed. At his death, he left it to her and said, do what you think is right with it. She donates it to this school. They're more than likely going to reinvest the money, create a trust that just divvies out money every year, and everybody who ever attends this school will never pay for a class or a book.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
You should have seen the announcement. They brought everybody in the school into the auditorium, and the woman announced it, and you should have seen those people were losing their minds. Like literally embracing and sobbing openly.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that out.
You're talking anything from $150,000 to $300,000 in tuition fees, depending on the degree you're getting and the length of the stay.
Oh, that is
it's a great
Isn't that
story.
a feel-good
One of the best
story?
stories of the day. 100.
Yeah, exactly.
While I'm over here getting way over the top excited over BOGO olive oil.
You should.
You sound like Jimmy. And then finally, what do you think is the most popular bill in America?
You know what? I have to tell you, I like looking down at a wad of 20s.
All right.
I like 20s.
Common or 20? It seems like 20 would be it.
Not common.
No, but not common. I think. All right. Okay. Hear me out. I'm going with 5, replacing the single. Because a single doesn't get what it used to be, so 5 has become the new single.
All right, not bad, Jack. That's not bad logic. Ross,
you're going to shoot for the stars, or you're going to hang out with these guys?
Give me Taft.
Which one is he on?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, because the Hamilton's the 50.
Yeah,
the Taft is...
I meant Hamilton.
Okay.
Hamilton's on a 10.
That's a 10.
It's the $100 bill.
Is it?
It is?
Yes, the number of $100 bills has more than doubled between 2012 and 2022, which is faster growth than any other denomination. According to Federal Reserve data, 60% of all payments are made with debit or credit cards, despite there being more $100 bills in circulation than there are $1 bills.
But how many $100 bills are real that are in circulation?
I mean, you're trying to trap me into doing something.
I was going to say
Ben Franklin yesterday.
Oh, it's Ben Franklin.
It's grants on the 50, right? You never see 50s anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, one reason is they enter circulation far quicker than they leave. What's interesting is hundreds can last over a decade longer than ones and fives, partly because people are more likely to hold than spend them. In fact, research shows that people are less willing to purchase items when they're given a $100 bill compared to if we're given 520s. 520s, you have no problem buying that item. But if you got to break that hundo.
You don't want to break that 100.
Man, I want to hang on this a little bit longer.
Two things. First of all, it's the cleanest bill.
It is the cleanest bill. Best artwork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like it's touched, as Deb just said. It's traded and used the least. But I think this also might be like kind of bad and somber news, though. Because this is also, in another way, a.k.a. I think the $100 bill is becoming closer and closer to a $20 bill. Then.
Oh, yeah, there's no question it has something to do with that as well. You probably have to break them more often.
Like, I would say that that news story, that update is definitely impacted by inflation.
And didn't they say also that a large percentage of American currencies above 20s have almost like 30% of them have traces? Oh,
no. I don't have the stat. But
have traces of cocaine?
Yeah, which is why economists have called for slowing down the printing of hundreds because they're used so often in illicit activity.
Yeah. That's because they're clean.
The most counterfeited, I think it's the most counterfeited thing on planet Earth is the U.S. $100 bill.
And just like you were saying, they also turn up with a lot of residue of cocaine and everything else. Because, I mean, you don't want to snort using a 20. Those are dirty.
No, come on. Got a trailer park idiot does that.
Exactly. You want that crisp hundo.
Oh, I use a $2 bill for that.
Those are even rarer.
I use a gain coupon.
And now you all are officially woke.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in just 1 sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio. At 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hey, Central Florida, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast for your Tuesday. And for the rest of today, we'll expect a beautiful day, pleasant temperatures and plenty of sunshine. Plan for a high of 80 degrees in the Orlando area. As we head into our Wednesday, even warmer temperatures on the way with still a good amount of sunshine and dry time, a high of 83. Shower chances, though, are on the rise just in time for this weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Guys, let me tell you something. If you haven't made it over to Life Imaging FLA, you got to do it now. Here's why. Because it's awesome. Look, my mom or my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, I just got them approved to go over to Life Imaging FLA. They made their announcement. My wife has done it. Friends and family have done it. And if you've done it or you have somebody in your family or a friend of your family that you think maybe could benefit from a life scan at Life Imaging FLA, you got to get them over there. This is what we're trying to do, is let everybody know of the power of the scan from Life Imaging FLA. We're talking about a free heart scan here that could change your life. It did mine. And even though I didn't have any issues with my heart, I did find other issues in my family that we have in our extended family. That's why I love these guys, is because I now have that information that I can take to my primary care doctor and build that plan to make sure that I continue to watch those things that could come back to haunt me later in life. Do that same thing. Get with Life Imaging FLA. Get that free heart scan. It is a $699 value, and you are going to you're not going to believe what this can do for you. Take control and call Life Imaging right now. Get that free heart scan. Like I said, just a few minimum requirements. And all you have to do is this. Just get your cell phone, got a pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do. Pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Be sure to ask about their cancer screening while you're there. It's better to know now than it is too late for sure. That is Life Imaging FLA.
Get ready for our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, presented by The Hartford, live at South by Southwest.
Celebrating the best of the best. And the winner is?
Watch live Monday, March 11th on iHeartRadio's YouTube channel and listen on iHeartRadio stations across America.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Social Impact Award. Discover the best selection of audiobooks anywhere, plus binge-worthy podcasts and exclusive Audible originals. There's more to imagine when you listen. Try Audible for free when you sign up at audible.com.
Are your energy costs through the roof? FAS Windows and Doors is now offering buy 3, get 1 free windows on any project. This is a plain and simple deal that homeowners can receive at the time of signing. FAS also offers 24-month financing. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 24 months with this new financing option available from FAS. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS Windows and Doors today or visit us online at faswd.com. That's faswd.com.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
You call that a precision stunt?
When a rookie stunt driver,
Just give me a shot.
meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all,
Come on, focus.
they'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1748 per month per thousand finance. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and in-MAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 3/4/24.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. j.d. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. The Queen Sleep Number C4 smart bed is only $15.99. Save $300. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. For j.d. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio, specifically audio influencers.
Audio has been a key component for us. Our consumer is omni-channel, so we need to be omni-channel. We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio. I think using the audio influencers has been a huge component for us. Working with iHeart, we were able to really tease out the audio influencers in key markets that were authentic Chipotle fans. And because it's authentic and because they're seen as trusted friends by the customers and the listeners, it's really been an effective strategy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like The Vinyl Experience. Just search Vinyl Experience and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, so apparently Facebook is still a thing. Search gym members and join our group.
The $20 bill is probably the best bill on the planet. If you can fill your tank with gas almost, or you can buy food or whatever. But if you're a little over, you get change. And if you're a little under, you just give them another 20 and get change again. It's the best one there is.
I think he's got a $20 tree in his yard. You just break out another one.
Yeah. Was he drunk? I mean, can I just ask the question? Fine. I mean, is it okay for me to ask that? Was he drunk?
You sound a little.
Apparently, $20 buys a gallon of vodka at $3.40.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
Hey.
And Ross. What are you laughing at?
No, it's Evil Eye living his best life.
Was that him?
It was.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Evil Eye, what are you doing, buddy?
He's working in the sun.
Yeah. He got up early today.
A little hot out.
Decided to sit under a tree and sip him some bourbon.
No, beer only.
Man, he's got a good gig. That guy who calls us Evil Eye, he manages a farm. I think, and I want to give him respect here. I believe that there's a woman that owns a farm out in Lake County, and he and his wife both live on property, I believe, and raised his family there, as far as I know.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever known that he's done for 30 years that I've known of this guy is that he manages this farm. His whole job is to basically tend to the farm, and he lives on the farm. Actually, I remember at one point he told me he didn't leave the property for quite a while. That he just didn't really leave. There's really no reason for it. I think it's a pretty good swath of property, and it takes up the majority of his day to take care of it.
Yeah, it does.
I think the only time he leaves the property is when we are doing an appearance in Lake County.
Exactly. And even then he has to pry himself out of there to go to the 3 miles to Mount Dora to see us. You know what I have to tell you? I would not be against a life of that nature. That is, if you could cash out and go do something like going to the middle of a 100, 200 acre farm and living in the center of it and just doing like chores all day.
Yeah.
That would not be the worst thing I could ever do. I promise you I'd be fine with that.
I couldn't.
No,
You couldn't do that?
Yeah, no.
Well,
Really?
maybe you win the Powerball tonight, or Mega Millions, whichever.
But I do have to tell you this. This is what, my wife and I are moving. I don't know, we sold our house, and we'll be getting out of there in that part of town there, and you're here in a little bit.
They chase you out?
And going to another part of town to start a whole new adventure. We don't mind doing this. People freak out when we tell them we're moving again, because it's the third time in like 6 years, and people don't understand why we do it.
It's the third time. Yeah, third time since the start of the show.
Yeah, it is the third time.
That would be 5 years.
Right. So the third time I've moved in 5 years. Baldwin? No. Yes, you're right. I moved from the lake house to Baldwin to where I am now, all within the context of the show, because we did the test at my studio at my house across the street here.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, right, exactly. And people don't understand. I mean, it's an investment thing. My wife and I have decided after our kids left that we would kind of do things like this, move into a house, fix it up. If we like it and it catches us, we stay. If it doesn't catch us and we see another opportunity to do something more, make some more money, we move on. And, we've been out there for a while. But the one thing I have noticed is this, and I didn't think it would get to me, and this kind of contradicts what I just said, but I am a little over not seeing people. I told my wife last night, she goes, we were talking about the move. She goes, are you going to miss this place? I go, yeah, I'm going to miss it dramatically. It's an amazing spot, to have that kind of property and be able to be secluded like that, not have to deal with anybody. But I do find that when we go out and we're looking at houses, that when we're in neighborhoods that have neighbors that you can see and occasionally interact with, it's kind of exciting.
We felt the same way about the house that we live in now, because the one before, it wasn't secluded or anything, but there wasn't a lot of activity.
There's no activity here.
So
the only humans I see is when I come and leave, the ones walking their dogs. That is it. That is the only human interaction in my neighborhood.
You're about ready to enter the realm of the neighborhood text chain.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, those are good to have.
Next door?
Those are It's just, like I said, I know the neighbors to the right of me, across the street, Alex, Bob, and Jane. We all have each other's phone numbers.
For Jim, it'll be next door because they won't have his phone number.
Good point, Jack.
And if they somehow get it, they'll be quickly disillusioned to ever text him again, since there's never a response.
You shut your damn mouth. I hate it. Right, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
But I am kind of longing to get back into the fray a little bit. I'm excited to maybe have a neighbor that I can get mad at and maybe even aim a gun at later through. Yeah, look,
I'm not inviting you over.
You guys would think I would be a good neighbor, right? I would be a good neighbor. If you had me on one side of your home or behind you, that would be a good thing, would it not? I'm going to take care of my property. I'm going to do. I'm not going to be parking cars on the yard. Yeah, I'm not going to be that demanding. You just can't do anything past 9.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then the parties you have.
Who would be the worst neighbor out of all of us?
You have a fondness for these animals.
Who would be the worst neighbor out of all of us?
You.
Yeah, you're
Why would you say it's me? I think it would be Jack.
Whoa.
Why Jack?
Well,
Jack has never called code enforcement on an old sick man because of the boat that he didn't want to look at anymore.
This is true.
Deborah, how dare you use that against me? That was
this is true.
That was a property value issue. Had nothing to do with him personally.
Jim, I got your back. Deb, have you ever made a phone call on behalf of your neighbors?
No.
Jack?
No.
Me either. It's you.
Guilty as charged, dude.
Not only, here's another thing.
The defense rests. I'll be over here. If you need me for some more truth, Your Honor.
Here's something else. I pick up after my dog. Better neighbor than you.
Oh, no. I would pick up after my dog. I don't do that.
No.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back with What You Do That's New right after this.
Your 30 seconds of airtime awaits. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Checking in on I-4, you could expect your regular delays before US 27 and approaching Sand Lake Road in both directions. Authorities are clearing up a couple accidents. Colonial Drive eastbound at the Greenway, Redbug Lake Road eastbound near Tuscaloosa Road. There's slowdowns on Florida's Turnpike southbound between Scrub J Lane and Colonial Drive. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in an accident and would like to know the value of your case, go to forthepeople.com to see cases just like yours. You see, all lawyers are not the same. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This year, make the most of your spring break. Visit the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, the only place where you can meet an astronaut, touch a moon rock, stand nose to nose with a real Space Shuttle Atlantis, and more. Plan your visit now. Launch into the bold new territory this spring at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex at a down-to-earth price, of course. Plan your visit now. Calling all space explorers, come face-to-face with the real space and cutting-edge innovations of space exploration from NASA. Explore more at KennedySpaceCenter.com. Blast off this spring and make your vacation at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex an out-of-the-world experience. Experience the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex this spring. Just get your tickets and more information at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Orlando? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Orlando for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. Orlando's the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Orlando and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our windows blend energy performance with hurricane protection. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
You don't need a resolution to lose weight. You need a solution. And that's Red Mountain Weight Loss. Red Mountain Weight Loss has full-strength semaglutide in their newest medication called Revelex. It's specifically formulated to provide full-strength semaglutide in a daily tablet. With Revelex, you'll lose up to 15 pounds a month. And it's not a shot, so you can skip the weekly trips to a doctor's office. But here's the best part. Revelex costs about half of what you'll pay for other semaglutide medications like Ozempic. That's right, I said half the price. Plus, Red Mountain includes medically supervised meal plans and free lifetime maintenance to help you keep the weight off. So why go anywhere else? At Red Mountain, you get no shots, just results for half the price. Trust the leader in medical weight loss. Red Mountain Weight Loss has helped millions of people lose weight safely, and they can help you too. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you need your contractor's license? In 4 short weekends with Camtech School of Construction, you'll be able to ace the state exam. Get legal, get licensed, get Camtech. Join us for a free info seminar this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Orlando Wyndham Garden. CamTechSchool.com.
The hit true crime podcast Paper Ghosts is back with a haunting mystery in the shadows of the Ozarks. Season 4 unravels a darkly intriguing cold case from 1989 as a community continues to search for answers about a missing girl, various suspects, and a potential connection to BTK.
It's gone from, okay, we don't think something's quite right, to there's some worry going on now because now we've found some of her clothing.
Listen to Paper Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now.
at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyounitus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Want more from us? At The Jim Colbert Show on Instagram. Follow us.
Coolest thing about living in my neighborhood is I'm watching children grow up. And I'm kind of like a, father figure to them. They've enhanced our lives. Even my neighbors, going through the hard time I've been going through, I've had neighbors praying for me. I mean, and they tell me, they hug you. You meet the dog walkers at certain times of the day because your dogs know when to walk. Neighborhoods are great.
I agree, Larry.
You think most people are happy with their hood? Like their neighborhood? You think most people are happy with where they live? Or do you think most people just kind of tolerate where they live? We may dive into that a little bit later.
It's a good question.
It is a legit question. Maybe that's the question of the day.
Yeah,
Are
we'll
you
do
happy
that.
where you live?
Actually, put that up. We'll do that for sure. And we'll talk about that in just a bit.
Because there's a lot of factors about that.
Yeah, there are. 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. I've got a little indigestion today, and I've got I got some bubbles. So
that why you keep tripping on your words?
Yeah, I got a little burpy thing happening. It's kind of odd.
Do you need a Pepsi?
What's your excuse every other day?
I don't know. Well, just because I'm drunk. Jack, you know that. Why would you say that on the air?
You got that $20 vodka too, huh?
Yeah, let's do what you do that's new. Shut Jack up. Music's better. Oh, so much better than Jack talking.
What you do that's new. What you do that's new.
Hey!
If we only knew something new to do, we're relying on you. Tell us something new brought to you by Clausman Law.
That's right, Clausman Law, KLAUSMAN Law.com. Offices right there in Winter Park, 407-917-1718. Car crash, call Clausman. We'll talk to Glenn on Thursday for Colbert Court. Every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, we do What You Do That's New. Some member of the show, one member of the show, will choose something for the others to watch, read, or listen to, usually under an hour. Then we return that following Tuesday, discuss that, and then move on to the next member. This week it was Deb's choice. We'll find out what Jack has to offer here in just 1 second. Deborah?
Yeah, so I suggested a 12-minute and 2-second long video, I believe, of weird fashion trends throughout history. And, of course, there are so many more that could possibly be covered, but these were just the top. I think there were 4 of them that this lady covered. Some I had never heard of before, and some I had heard of, but not through fashion, actually.
No, I've heard of 2 of these, and the other 2 I've never heard of. And it was fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Great choice again. Perfect timing. The woman who narrated this and told the story behind these fashion trends was also very, very good. Did you guys like it?
I did. I didn't know about the black teeth trend. I don't know why that ever was a thing. It shouldn't have been. I have no problem saying that whatever culture was like purposely painting their teeth black to look good.
Japanese.
Yeah. Oof, swing and a miss. And then they had to didn't the government had to step in?
Yeah,
and
they had
be
to ban it.
Stop doing this.
Well, yeah, it was thwarting tourism because it was so shocking for people who would come.
People were horrified.
So the government stepped in and was like, guys, stop painting the teeth black. No one likes us.
Although they were making a case that it might have provided for better dental care than people who were not doing it.
Yeah, they were taking natural elements and then making this paste out of it, and then they would basically stain their teeth. Did you guys, what did they rub on their teeth beforehand? What was it?
Pomegranate skin.
Yeah. Pomegranate skin. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And it would basically prep the surface of your tooth to be able to accept that stain, which would only last like 2 or 3 or 4 days, and then you would have to redo it. But the odd thing was, and did you see the real picture of the woman who did it?
Yeah.
It's horrifying. It looks
it is.
It looks like a Marvel bad guy.
Really bad.
Yeah, really bad. And
she got venom in her mouth.
But it was uniquely, like Jack was saying, is like oddly enough, that coating over your teeth provided some dental care for them that they didn't even expect.
Right, exactly.
As a side effect. And they were shiny. Like apparently that stuff would get really shiny.
Well, they said if you did it well, you would end up with like a black lacquer look because they thought, items that were, that shiny black lacquer were, beautiful. So they extended it to their teeth.
Also, it was, wasn't even, well, here's what really happened, right? So it was with the aristocracy.
Yep.
right? And then everybody started doing it, and it became out of fashion. So the aristocrats were like, well, this is not cool anymore.
That was macaroni.
That was macaroni.
And that was the next one. The second one was macaroni, and we all learned, which was great. Yankee Doodle stuck a feather in his cap, called it macaroni.
And since I was a child, I'm like, why is he obsessed with that pasta?
Right. But it was, Europeans that were obsessed with pasta, and then it turned into just this meaning for being fancy, doing fancy things. Yeah.
And that was the one that once the paupers were emulating it, the rich were like,
got on. They're like, okay, we're done.
We
done
can't
with
dress
this.
like the
Right,
poor.
right. The minute you are your Coach person to Walmart.
Exactly. Now, the one I was the most interested to see what you guys would think was the foot binding, because
the last one.
that was the second to last.
Yeah, the third one was Lotus shoes, and that's the foot binding, and that's just sad, disgusting. What people were deforming their own bodies.
And what I learned when I first learned about the lotus flower or the lotus shoe was because of the proclivity of Chinese men to.
Yeah, onto them.
No.
What?
With the foot.
With the foot. They would use it to do the foot thing? They would use the foot for the thing?
They would use the foot for the thing.
Okay, really? Ross is laughing. I was way off. I wasn't that far off.
No, but that was how I first learned about it, and I had no idea that the foot binding was literally making the foot like 5 inches.
Your guess was onto them?
No.
Yeah, that's exactly
what his guess was.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that guess.
Yeah, that is a different result.
It is a different result.
Yet
You're right.
Not
it
as
is.
disturbing as what they did to these poor girls. Between 5 and 10, they break 4 of their toes,
and
bend them under, and wrap them up. And,
the crazy part was they showed you a shoe. What they didn't tell you was the shoe was it was the full frame of the photograph.
It was an adult woman who wore that 5-inch shoe.
And then they show you the next frame or the next photograph is just a hand next to the shoe, and the shoe is not as big as your hand.
Yeah.
And they would break the women's feet to the point where they could shove them in this tiny little silk slipper and then bind them up.
Well,
and then they could barely walk for the rest of their lives.
But they couldn't run.
Exactly.
That was the key thing. They couldn't
but
run from
it
you.
gave the men a new playground.
Yeah.
See, I would not find that attractive. I like a woman who can really propel in a pool.
What I was amazed by with the
I
foot
like women that
binding
can sneak up on you, so we're good.
is how long it lasted. I mean, they outlawed it, but that was in the 1940s.
And they continued to do it after the fact.
Yes, they did. They've only recently discovered that even in those rural areas, that foot binding is now finally out of fashion.
Yeah.
But it lasted from the 10th century all the way into the 20th century.
And did you hear one of the problems they would have with it outside of the physical pain from doing it is, as the foot is, imagine taking your toes and curling them under and then continuing to curl them under so that would make your shoe size 3 or 4 shoe sizes smaller.
Yeah.
It would create that pocket, and that pocket would get sweat and stuff in it, and it would start rotting, which is not cute. And it doesn't help.
And then the last one was the forehead plucking.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'd never heard of that one.
I had never heard of it either, but having seen those paintings, I always wondered why they had such protruding foreheads. Like, what was their... And then finding out it was actually, they did it by choice.
Yeah, they wanted that egg-like forehead look.
I guess so.
And they would pluck their hair. So when you look at pictures, what was that, from the 14th, 15th century?
15th century Italian, yeah.
Right, and you start looking at the photographs or paintings from that era, you'll see that a lot of the women had very pronounced foreheads. They were doing that on purpose. They were literally plucking their hairline back an inch.
Or more. I thought that was like gnarly.
It's so funny. We're making fun of this as if women still don't continue to change their bodies over and over and over for whatever. I think now it's for them more than it is for men. Back in the day they would do these things, but I think women now do that stuff for self-empowerment. I think some of them still do it for male attention, but I think a lot of the changes that women make now is for themselves.
Both things can be true.
Yeah, you're right.
Both things can happen at the same time. If I dress up for a date night with my wife, I'm not just dressing up for her. I'm dressing up for both of us. I want to look good on a date night. You want your guy to look good. So those two things are not exclusive.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, I think, one could be a byproduct of the other. I mean, you could focus toward one and the byproduct of that could be the other. It doesn't, it doesn't even have to even happen on purpose.
But all of those trends, like, what are the worst trends in the last couple of years? I mean,
the puffy lip thing is a bit much, isn't it?
What, like injections?
The lip injections to make the lips so pronounced for girls. I mean, do you think that's gotten a little far?
Well, I mean, I've seen it work. I've seen it not work.
I think the whole below the belt, that new surgery that's out there.
The vagioplasty or whatever?
Something like that, yeah.
What does that do?
Well, just
just look it up.
Cleans things up.
All right.
Yeah, you know that some women have different...
Everyone is different.
Anatomical things. Some of those things in some women are lower than the others.
So they're just like making adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a facelift?
Yeah, kind of like that.
All right.
Yeah. They're removing.
I would say the brown Hobbit shoes when I was in high school. That was my least favorite trend.
Yeah, but that's not a body change, though, right? We're talking about like altering your body, your actual body.
These are fashion trends.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, the fashion trend had to exist because you had to shove a size 7 into a size 2. That's kind of what makes it, kind of odd.
But you had fashion trends in all of your lives. There's not really one that I could really point out outside of those little brown Hobbit shoes.
For mine, it would be jelly shoes and leg warmers.
Yeah, but I think that's
but
just
those aren't body modifications.
Those aren't body modifications.
Yeah,
I mean, like haircut styles would be more accurate than that because, you could have a haircut style that could define an era, right? I mean, tanning?
Yeah.
That wasn't always a thing.
Oh, Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liposuction, taking fat out of one spot at someone's apartment and having them inject it into another and hope everything turns out okay.
Extra boobs.
The body modification, though, definitely gotten a lot better.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that for sure. I think
Gauges.
I was about to say the stuff that you add to your body. All that stuff.
Gauges and also tattoo makeup.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
I like gauges when they're in, but when you take out a gauge and it just becomes like, whoa, dude, you look like you're melting.
Good thing that the ear goes back to normal.
Yeah. It doesn't. It looks like one of those candy rings that you make. You'll see the old fashioned like peach rings.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Like a Peacho or like a Hasbro gummy something.
That's it.
Yeah, gummy lobes.
Yeah.
I posted Deb's video. If you go to Jim Colbert Live, you can actually just watch the video from our website if you're interested in spending 12 minutes and 2 seconds on that a little later.
It's very interesting, man. Check it out. JimColbertLive.com. All right, 407-916-1041. Jack, what do you have for us, buddy?
It is a TV series. I had a bunch of different things. I finally settled in on this one.
I was excited about it. I like this.
It was a TV series that I just learned came out in BBC 2 years ago, was just really out in the States. I watched the 6-episode series, really enjoyed it, and just learned that in 2 days they're going to drop season 2. You are watching season 1, episode 1 of The Tourist.
The Tourist?
The Tourist.
Where do we get that?
It's on Netflix.
You get that through your Hulu, Jimmy.
Okay, good.
And it takes place in Australia, but it was interesting. And when it ended, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's how you end an episode."
Really?
And then, you can, if you want to stay with it. It's only 6 episodes for that season, but it was pretty well received. Where they cut a second season, which I just learned about.
Okay, so real quick, it's named The Tourist.
Tourist is the name of the show on Netflix.
What's the premise?
Season 1, episode 1. You see it. A guy, he's driving through Australia, gets in an accident that was intentional, and then wakes up with amnesia and has to piece his life back together as he finds he's being pursued.
Oh,
wow.
Did you think it was good?
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Oh, awesome.
I would not inflict it on Deb and Ross if I didn't like it.
Now, let me ask you real quick. Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Jack.
solely for me. Any actors or actresses in this that we'll recognize?
No.
Yeah, which is pretty common these days.
And it's pretty cool because they're all like really good.
All right.
And there's a hottie in there.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. All right, 407, who'd have thought? 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in just 1 sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
What you do that's new, brought to you by Glenn Klossman, KLESNANLAW.com. Proudly sponsored since day one by Glenn Klossman, KlossmanLaw.com.
From the Klossman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Klossman Law, KlossmanLaw.com.
Traveling on I-4 this afternoon, you can expect your regular delays before US 27 and approaching Sand Lake Road. There's a couple accidents to watch out for. Colonial Drive eastbound at the Greenway, Orange Avenue southbound at Michigan Street. The right lane is blocked. On Apopka Vineland Road, northbound at World Center Drive. Authorities are clearing up an accident. Travel with caution through there. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
You know, your neighborhood Tools Ace Hardware has everything you need to get ready for spring. Right now through February 29th, get the best prices on made-for-Florida Sunnyland fertilizers, Miracle Grow soils, Roundup weed and grass killers, yard tools, and more. Cypress mulch 4 bags for only $10 all month long. And don't forget to bring in your Steel outdoor power equipment into one of Tools Ace Hardware's 10 service centers for that tune-up before spring. Not to mention, Tools has 12 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can just shop online at acehardware.com. Get that free in-store pickup or delivery. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America? Thousands of hard-to-find Rolex watches, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all in perfect condition.
We scour the world to find only the most pristine, super clean watches. We only carry the creme de la creme.
And like everything else at IDC, these watches are at a price that's guaranteed to give you maximum value.
We price them to win the customer, not lose a customer.
International Diamond Center for pre-owned Rolexes, exquisite rare diamonds, premium designer jewelry, and exceptional white glove service.
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations, and online at shopidc.com.
McDonald's McCafe iced coffee wakes you up like the perfect song. The 100% Arabica beans get your head nodding. Yeah, then the cream drops like a smooth bass line. Add some ice to chill it down, and some French vanilla flavor. There you go. Or change it up and go with caramel. Either way, it's a stone cold classic. Start your day with $1.49 McCafe iced coffee, available during breakfast hours only. Music to my ears. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. My day just flows better when I make my first stop McDonald's. I can choose 2 faves and save big when I bundle a savory sausage McMuffin or flaky sausage biscuit with crispy hash browns for breakfast for $2.79. Or I can make Mickey D's my last stop. Lunch, dinner, a late night snack perhaps, when I bundle a crispy McChicken or juicy McDouble with delicious small fries for only $3.69. Now my day is made the tastiest way when I bundle and save at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid with product served.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like The Vinyl Experience. Music legends experienced through the authentic sound of vinyl. The Rolling Stones, Tom Petty, Pink Floyd, The Police, and so many more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Vinyl Experience, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
New South Window Solutions. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Radio now comes with moving pictures. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Hey guys, this is Patrick from Bend, Oregon. Yes, we just finished the first season of The Tourist, and it was fantastic. Can't wait for the second season. It kind of reminded me of Memento as a series. Very, very good.
Nice. Apparently that lead, according to a text we just got, was the lead from 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, me either.
You of all people who would have had a red room.
I live it, Deb.
I know you do, Jack.
He didn't need to watch it. It's like watching home videos.
50 Shades of Bradshaw.
Hey, Daddy-O.
407.
Put the cuffs on.
50 Shades of Grey highlights. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack. And Ross as well.
Talk to me.
All right. So in England, this is the courtesy of the BBC. Now, where is Sussex? Is that just like a county, or how does that work out in England? Because in New Orleans, they have parishes that are same as our counties. Is Sussex like a state, or is it a...
I would say it's a county, but let me look it up real quick.
All right, so an area there. So Sussex is using AI. The police department is going to use AI for something in Sussex, and it's coming under quite a lot of scrutiny. A lot of questions being asked about how they're going to use AI for this.
Well, Sussex is an area of southeast England, which was historically a county.
Okay, there you go.
And it's some beautiful, beautiful part of the country, absolutely.
So they're going to use AI in this area, the police department is, and they're going to do it for this. Now, when they announced this plan, people started kind of losing their mind a little bit, but they're going to give it a shot anyway. And to be honest with you, I believe it was just kind of a matter of time before it was going to be used for something like this. And I would bet that there's not going to be long before there's a proposal that AI is used for this in police departments across the U.S., possibly. I do not know if it will make it through the legislation it takes because of some obvious questions. But what do you think they're trying to do with AI in Sussex, England, to reduce crime?
Reduce crime?
Well, I mean, it is a crime.
Halitosis?
No, Ross, it's not bad breath.
Oh.
That's not a crime.
There's a lot of British people.
License plate tracking.
License plate tracking isn't exactly the answer.
I was thinking that they were going to use it on the... Go ahead.
Facial recognition software.
Not necessarily.
Are they using it on the highways?
Are they using it where?
On the highways.
They may be.
I'm just saying stage 5 British mouth is a thing.
I'm going to say... Yeah, something on the highways.
Yeah, facial and license plate tracking on the highway.
Yeah, and vehicle tracking.
So close.
What is it?
So close. Ross, one more stab. Not halitosis.
Nothing to do with mouth.
Nothing to do with mouth.
God, that would be my
And
number one priority.
Nothing to do with mouth. That's an odd thing you wanted to do. But
Dude, I just got some Baraka teeth over there. Sometimes.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to try to use AI to see if you're driving with your mobile phone up to your face.
Oh.
So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to issue tickets based on AI that is working with their security camera systems, which I believe, if I remember right, England is one of the countries that has a relatively extensive use of
cameras,
of closed circuit cameras to protect their citizens there, right?
Everywhere.
So apparently they're everywhere, and they're going to use these cameras everywhere, especially on the highways, to try to find people who are using their cell phones while driving. It is an epidemic there, no different than it is here in America. People driving on their cell phones, causing accidents, causing problems, hurting themselves, putting people in their own vehicle in danger. And of course, it's coming down to this. It's basically what they're saying. What do you think the number one argument is against this?
Privacy rights.
It's not a privacy right issue. They're not even, really, to be honest with you, that really never even came up. I believe that Brits are kind of used to being surveilled, so they didn't really consider it a privacy issue.
How could you tell? I still think maybe the intention of when you're on the phone.
What was that? What you about to say?
How can you tell the phone is up?
How can you tell it's a cell phone at all? Matter of fact, one of the arguments is going, what if I'm going down the road eating a chocolate bar at 75 miles an hour? Is your little AI camera going to tell that's a chocolate bar instead of my phone? So what they're trying to do is figure out how the AI can ascertain if you're using your phone or not. And here's what's going to happen. They're basically going to send you a notice.
Hey, was this you? If it was, we hope you're going to be kind enough to pay this, sterling pound fine.
Now, oddly, you would think that, wow, that is an invasion, but have you guys ever received a letter in the mail with your photograph of your vehicle while you ran a stop sign or a red light?
Oh, the red light cameras. That's how they did it.
Absolutely. Well, I received a couple of those as I rolled through red lights. Fought one, lost the other. But either way, there it was, clear as day, like with me in my car. Without question, it's me. Without question, it's my car. Mm-hmm. Going through. Now, again, that's a red light that you're kind of making it through. You're not going 75 down I-4 while this thing is trying to figure out if you're, on your phone or if you're just, or you're eating something or you're scratching your head or
you're
whatever.
Using your car keys to scratch your ear.
Whatever the case may be.
It's very specific. Jim does that.
Yeah,
it's super weird.
I do it, and it is weird.
Because it looks like you're trying to, start yourself up.
The engine just won't roll over.
It just feels so good.
Yeah, I've never gotten a ticket through the cameras.
Have you not?
Dude, I am a good little boy driver. Not anymore.
Oh, you're jinxing it.
I'm speeding these days.
Boy, that sled he's got is pretty cool. I was parked next to him last night. I went up there and I was like, oh, that's such a nice ride.
I know.
Felt like
Such
a man
nice
today. Put down the sunroof, all the windows down, turned up La La Land, and just let it rip.
There I am hopping in my crappy little Ranger, and he's piling into this Luxo, sweet sled of his. I felt like a bum.
We got AC seats.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Jack, what do you think about this? You think this is one of those things that obviously you think with American legislation, this would probably wind up being like a privacy thing, would it not? I mean, it has to.
You see pushback regardless whether it is or not with red light cameras and the surveillance state. But those are still happening here. So
and you can get a speeding ticket from an airplane, can you not?
Yes. Well, I mean, the airplane will tell the trooper.
The airtrain, they can track your speed through aircraft, and then they'll call the trooper. Then they pull you over. Don't ask me how I know that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens, though. There are certain areas of Florida where there are signs on the road saying, by the way, your speed is being
monitored by
air.
It was 26 years ago this month on 5/20.
Really?
Yeah. And I know that because it was my first week of internship, and I was driving here, and I got a speeding ticket on 5/20 that was surveilled from the air.
Is that your last one?
I wish I could say
yes. Yeah. All right, Jack. I like that. Jack's got more speeding tickets. Well, I got one around the corner, but I was only going 32.
But I wonder if for the British this is, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't know if they still do this, but for the longest time, the BBC was the only television provider, right? So you don't pay for television like we do here in the States, cable, streaming. Obviously, that may have changed. But before that, like if you didn't pay your fee to the BBC every year, but you were still watching TV, they would have vans roll through the neighborhoods to see if they could pick up that you were receiving the TV signal but hadn't paid your fee.
Really?
Yeah, because that's the British Broadcasting Corporation is all about that. It's you don't pay for it; it comes out of your taxes. But if you don't pay that fee, you don't get to watch TV.
I think that's how it is in Ireland. Remember that guy Niall that we used to talk to occasionally from Ireland? I think that's how it is there. You pay like it comes out of your
yearly fee.
Yeah, it comes out of your. It's like it's a tax.
Now, what's
That's
interesting is that now with ITV and Sky and who knows if they have all the streaming apps like the Netflix,
right?
How the I don't know how that's changed. It's been many years since I've been back, but that's how it used to. You'd see those vans rolling through with those antennas picking up if you were receiving a TV signal and not paying for it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to make it through to America. I mean, look, for one thing, I don't think we have the infrastructure to do this. I think we do have cameras on the roads at the toll booths for sure, no question.
Well, those tall towers you see those are also cameras.
Yeah, but do you think the AI could pick up you like talking on the phone?
I hope not.
There's cameras and ads everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look,
Yeah.
more ads, more cameras.
Right.
Cameras with ads, ads with cameras. That's 2024 in a nutshell for me.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I got cameras looking at me.
You know, as we're looking at houses right now, we have to constantly remind ourselves that more than likely the owners will have cameras inside the house. So when we walk up to the house to look at a house, you'll see the Ring doorbell. Inevitably, it'll be right there on the door. And then we'll always remind ourselves, remember, when you're in the house, don't say anything derogatory about the house, whether it's dirty or whether you don't like the layout or, why did they choose that paint color? You got to be really cool.
Right.
Because you get in there and you say something squirrely and then you got to put an offer and they're like, nah, we're good. We won't take your offer because you just dogged our house. And that's constant. Even just going to people's houses and standing out in the doorbell waiting for them to come to the door, you got to be careful what you say, man. Like, you're on camera so much.
Di did that. They might be listening. Let's find out. I went to a party in this house. I love these people, but they also have like a lot of cats. And my wife has been asking me for a cat. And I was like, all right, you ready to see, what a house with a lot of cats looks like? Miss, I want a cat. Yeah. And then she goes, then she just pointed right at the Ring doorbell. I was like, oh, great. I love cats.
And you know that there are people who do this. I did not know this, but there are people who go back and they rewind the Ring doorbell every day and they watch it to see what's happened. If somebody, trust me when I tell you, I know this to be the case because I've had it happen to me. But there are people who do that. They will just the cameras are rolling on their property, around their property at all times.
Well, if I see someone on my porch,
and they will go back and watch it and just kind of scomb through it to make like if you've had a party at their house.
Yep.
Code Black needs a better hobby.
No, it's not Code Black. Although he did catch me on he had his camera system set up and caught me with a bad beat in our poker game one time and put it up online, and I had no idea it was even recording it. I'm like, what? I said some squirrely surf stuff that night, buddy. You need to make sure that's deleted.
We got.
It's all about Jack, though.
And now, now I'm in my car, 2021. It's got cameras all over it.
Oh, yeah.
My phone, cameras all over it.
Yeah.
Doesn't your fridge have a camera right now, Jim?
I don't think my fridge has a camera.
It doesn't?
No.
I don't know.
Are you sure?
I know it doesn't.
I've seen cameras on fridges these days.
Jack, do you surveil your house with cameras? Do you have a doorbell?
Do you want to talk about that? Is it cool to talk about that?
No, what I'm saying, it's on the door. You can walk up to his house if it's there or not. What I'm saying is inside. Do you keep cameras inside?
Inside?
Yeah.
I'd rather not say.
Okay, that's fine.
But now it really sounds like you have cameras on the inside.
Yeah. Do you?
No.
We have two on the inside of our house. We have two. We have one in our bedroom and then one just for and the reason why, this is the only reason we had them. Because our dog, when the dog was young, we let the dog had to stay in a little crate area. It wasn't a crate; it was like a
dog pen,
area, and we just wanted to be able to check in on the dog when the dog was young. We just never turned him off. My wife watches me watch TV sometimes.
Don't you remember he told us he had cameras inside his home the day after we were there for a party?
Oh yeah. You didn't have a sign, anything.
No,
there's no hey, I have footage of you now.
Do you have to tell people that?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have to, do you?
No, if I'm walking into your house, it's your house, your rules.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, that's right.
But would you, if you had a big surveillance system, would you put a sign up there going, hey, just so you know, when you enter this house, you're on camera? Or do you not tell people that because if they say that, you probably won't go in?
I think you know my answer since I dodged the question.
See, I think I would just go with the scarecrow camera technique. Just have a bunch of fake cameras.
Yeah.
With a little red light.
Little zombie cameras?
Yeah. Just give them that little red light. I think that's enough. That scares everyone.
You know, security companies sell those.
Yeah.
As a package. Like you get stickers and stuff like that, and you get these little cameras that just have a red light that says, hey, you're on camera, and they're really not recording at all.
No. That's my kind of thing.
Yeah. It works.
All bark, no bite.
That's a movie trope, too. When they have, there's a robbery, they go to get the camera, and it's just a fake camera.
Yeah.
Just let me move it left to right.
Well, the funny thing is that, like during that whole, the catalytic converter thing, like that was like, I mean, for a pretty good spate of time there, like all the camera, like you'd see the footage online, and it was broad daylight they were pulling up and going under people's cars.
Well, this is different. This goes back to traffic cam, but someone texted, I got a traffic ticket in the mail that had shots of both the front and back of my car. Wife opened up the ticket and could clearly see the girl sitting next to me in the car. This did not go well.
Yeah. I've heard of that a couple of times.
Actually, they've solved murder cases.
Yeah.
One in Tallahassee of the FSU slain law professor.
Yes, sir.
Because the rental car that they had brought up from Miami had an E-Pass, but they don't use E-Pass in Tallahassee because they don't have enough traffic. So automatically that made the car stand out. And there was another case of a man who said he drove to Key West with his wife, and then she ended up disappearing into the ocean and left her sandals on the beach. They went back and tracked his trip, and never once was there a passenger in the car with him on the way to the Keys.
That's happened a couple of times. There's actually one where the camera took a shot of a truck going through there, and the body was in the back of the truck.
Exactly.
Look at that. E-Pass is like an Avenger. E-Pass
It's like the best detective in the city.
Is a gumshoe detective.
It's actually a show on Investigation Discovery about how often law enforcement goes to different businesses around the scene of a crime to gather as much surveillance video as they can, because that's how a lot of times they're able to piece together the movements of the perpetrator, the victim, how everything came down.
I can't even imagine that you could do anything these days without there being some footage of you. I would think that the ability to commit a crime in a vehicle specifically, for sure, in a vehicle where you have to like leave an area. I can't imagine. You can't use your cell phone.
Nope.
You can't get on any of the major roads, and any of the roads that you could have taken in or out of most areas are going to be captured by some doorbell camera of some sort.
This is what I woke up thinking about. How easy it was to do crimes back then compared with what technology is today.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about The Godfather, where Michael killed the mob boss and the dirty cop. And I was thinking about cannolis. But the line is,
leap. That's a good leap.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
All right, yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so that's the line. That's why. So cannolis made me think about that. Then I think about, well, crime back then. I'm like, wait, he left the gun. What about fingerprints? Was he wearing a glove? And then I'm trying to remember, was Michael Corleone wearing a glove in The Godfather when he shot the mob boss? And I don't
Spoiler.
know. Did they, how long ago were they doing fingerprints?
Oh, they've been doing fingerprints for decades. The problem was like when you had a crime in the 30s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, was that wherever that crime was committed, they'd have to mail the fingerprint cards, and then you'd have to have your fingerprint examiner go over them. It could be days, if not weeks, before you could get a clear set of prints that you could actually use. And then where do you go get the guy?
And I think that if you look back before, like pre-1930, I believe pre-1920 or 30, like if you murdered somebody, you had an 80 to 90% chance of getting away with it. Of murdering somebody. Like most murders were not solved. I don't think most are solved now, but I mean, back then it was almost impossible to solve a murder. You literally had to almost be standing there or catch the guy with an axe or gun in their hand.
Well, look at how many cold cases have been solved now just through using this advanced DNA technology.
Oh, yeah, man.
Two things. They have to. The majority of murders get solved, right?
I don't know, buddy. I don't think the rate is really high, as high as you'd think it is.
Depends on what.
Well, it would depend on where the body was dumped, what the crime scene is.
Yeah, but I mean, all crime murder scenes, the majority get solved, right? Like
a good number gets solved. A good number gets solved.
More than 50%?
I don't know if it is more than 50%, buddy.
It has to be.
I think it would depend because, between your domestic and then your stranger on stranger crime, what's really interesting is that in the early days, crime scene photographers were actually the press.
Yeah.
The press would almost sometimes arrive at the same time as officers, and they would be the first ones to take photographs of the crime scene. Before that, it was not considered a law enforcement tool.
50% right now, according to the FBI. It's at an all-time high.
What the hell?
50%. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends.
We don't need no education.
Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast for the rest of our Tuesday. And we're expecting a beautiful day across Central Florida. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures are well on their way into the upper 70s and low 80s. Tomorrow, we do expect temperatures to make it into the low 80s, the high of 83 degrees. We do, though, also have some changes on the way just in time for the weekend, unfortunately. Our next system will come into play, bringing with it increased rain chances. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. No one does spring travel like Amtrak. That's because now more kids ages 2 to 12 ride for 50% off. So not only will you travel comfortably, you'll save too. Book now at Amtrak.com.
Man,
restrictions apply.
If you ask anyone who's experienced LASIK, they're going to tell you one thing. It's the best thing I ever did. More often than not, they're going to add that they should have done it way sooner. That's exactly what my father-in-law said at 58 years old. Wishes he would have done this in his mid-40s. And here's the thing. If you have eye issues and you're dealing with them, what are you waiting for? The Filatowski Eye Institute is offering free LASIK consultations. Why wouldn't you find out what these guys can do for you if it doesn't cost anything? And all you have to do to book your appointment is text 1041 to 868686 and start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. They performed over 65,000 LASIK procedures. They have all the experience you can need. They use the latest state-of-the-art technology. And even better, if finances are a concern, do not worry. These guys have 24-month interest-free financing available. Just text 1041 to 868686 and schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your path to better vision begins now.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
You know, inflation is running high and nobody knows when it's really going to level out, but that's why you have to buy your windows and doors right now at FAS Windows and Doors and lock in your price. They have the largest window and door showroom in all of Central Florida, 38 unique windows ready for you to operate and pick out your favorites. The windows and doors are all built with impact-resistant glass. That's for security, noise reduction, and maximum efficiency. Plus, they have a full selection of hurricane windows and doors. Estimates are always free at FAS, and they always give you tons of options, which is awesome. I've had a couple homes now with FAS Windows and Doors. What a difference, man. All these products have a lifetime warranty, and if you act right now, how about rebates of $55 per window and $95 per door? Plus, no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Financing is available as well. Their showroom is easy to find, Fairbanks and I-4. Super easy. Slide in, pick out your windows, have them installed. Your house is going to be quieter. It's going to feel better. It's going to be safer. Your AC will work less, which means it lasts longer. And, of course, your power bills will drop as well. Hop on board. Book your appointment. It's FASWD.com.
Joy, love, heartache, life. Everything we've been wanting to see on a Broadway stage is here. Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill is Broadway's Tony and Grammy Award-winning musical. The New York Times calls it redemptive, rousing, and real. You live, you learn, you remember what it's like to feel truly human at Jagged Little Pill.
Come and get at Dr. Phillips Center March 19th through the 24th. Get tickets now at drphillipscenter.org.
Let's gather around the table and enjoy fine wine, food, and friends. Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster proudly hosts the Freemark Abbey Wine Dinner on Wednesday, March 13th. Timeless, trusted, and authentic, Freemark Abbey is esteemed by wine critics and enthusiasts alike for the classically structured Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, and Bordeaux varietal wines, sourced from several of Napa Valley's most pedigreed sites. Call Christner's 407-645-4443 for more information and reservations.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Doc Holliday here. Ross, I was just listening to the podcast where you announced you guys were pregnant. Congrats, my friends. By my calculation, that baby's going to be born around August 26th, my birthday. If it is, you're going to have a good-looking, blue-eyed, left-handed kid, my friend. Just remember, don't ever squat with your spurs on. It'll make you crap your boots. Y'all have a good day. Adios.
Doesn't seem the same if it didn't.
It doesn't.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack. Yep. And Ross as well.
Yeah. You know, someone on the texting service did make a really good point, though, that I wanted to pass on to Ross.
Which is?
That now is not a good time for Olivia to think about getting a cat.
Oh, yeah.
But because many people may not know, but scooping litter is something that pregnant women are not allowed to do.
Yeah, and I'm not scooping stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's, so she needs to stay away from litter boxes.
And don't cats kill babies? Do you remember? No. It's
they steal breath.
So funny enough, there used to be, did you ever know about this thing?
Cats killing babies?
There was a myth.
Old wives' tale.
An old wives' tale for years that you couldn't let cats in the same room as a newborn or a baby because the cat would smother or kill the baby. But it turned out, what do you think what the cats were doing?
Snuggling.
No. The cats were trying to drink or eat the milk that was still left in the baby's mouth. So they would get their mouth in there and they would suffocate them on accident trying to lick the remaining formula or breast milk or whatever out of the baby's mouth. Is that what you heard?
No.
You never heard that?
No, because generally cats don't like milk.
Oh, that's funny because, the rumor I heard or how that wives' tale came about is that you don't let cats in the rooms with babies is because cats will want to try to get that milk out of the baby's mouth and then inadvertently smother them while trying to do it.
See, I have one cat who loves milk, but he's also lactose intolerant. So that cat will throw up.
Really?
Whatever it eats, yeah.
Well, and I do have one that she'll, sniff at it and be a little interested, but...
It's to the point, if I'm anything in a bowl now, that cat is your best friend. He's just you put your cereal down and he's,
Really?
Where did that come from then? Because, where did all those wives' tales where cats like milk and mice like cheese? Because, they're okay with it, but they don't like it as much as they like peanut butter or something else.
Exactly. I don't know, because milk isn't actually even good for older cats. Now, for a kitten, that may be different.
Yeah, because of the protein and everything like that,
because they're still growing.
Yeah.
But for cats, no, it generally upsets their stomach.
Like gastro issues, huh?
Yeah, like Jack said, his cat may like it, but he's still, lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Really? How old is your cat?
I don't know.
God, I'm thinking about getting a cat, guys. We talked about this before.
Isn't so fun.
Anyone who's selling a house and moving into a new one should probably get an animal as soon as possible.
He makes a good point,
But
man.
no. My wife has been wanting a Maine Coon for a while.
Oh, those are big kitties.
Those cats are going to be like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, they're giant. Have you ever seen the ones on social where they'll hold it up as a kitten and then they give you a progression on how the cat grows? And at 1 year old, you can't even, she can barely hold the thing up. It's that big.
And how's that going to affect the dog that you now have and love?
They're going to love it. I mean, the dog will love it. I don't even know if I want to do it yet. I saw a Maine Coon cat, and because I watched the video for more than 30 seconds, now I'm inundated with Maine Coon videos, and every one of them is cooler than the next.
What does it sound like when you say $1 million?
$1 million?
Okay. I was just if you get a cat, dude, it's gonna be very Dr. Evilly. You're a face scar away. Yeah. You live into a big boy restaurant.
Oh, my wife wanted one of those skinless ones or hairless ones. I was like, not a chance.
Oh, a Sphinx cat.
There's no way that's happening in my house. No way. No thanks.
Yeah, the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Derived from the Latin word ball sack.
Yeah. I'm not going to be walking through my house at night going to the bathroom and seeing basically a walking, living nutsack. Get in my way. There's no way that's happening. Not a chance.
Wild, man.
No.
You're the only nutsack there, right?
Yeah. Naked mole rat is not going to come running in front of me.
And want cuddles?
Oh, yeah. No thanks. I heard they stink. I heard they have a natural kind of oil on their skin.
Right.
And they get a weird kind of smell to them.
I don't
know.
And
they look like they stink.
I don't think you should get a cat.
I'm with you there, Ross.
Why not? What do you think I'm a bad? Why is it you think I'm bad? What do you think I'm a bad pet owner? I'm not the one that has pets eating like tar and stuff, dude. You're the one that has the bad pet. You're a bad pet owner.
All right.
You've almost killed your dogs 4 times.
Shots fired.
Okay. First of all,
but just real quick before he answers, is that accurate? Like how his dog eats everything in the house?
4 times, but there have been some medical emergencies for things that his dog has eaten.
As a rule, my dog flying through life, loving it, not eating poisonous stuff left over by you.
Did survive a groomer's experience, but that really wasn't Jim's fault.
All of those,
although he did pick the groomer.
All of those near-death experiences with my dog were on purpose.
Okay. Is that worse?
I'm trying to get rid of one of them.
Okay, very good.
That's fair.
I like this blatant.
He's a good pet owner for one of them.
Yeah. I love one of them. No, but jokes aside, though, Jim, you've hit us with the greatest hits of how much you despise cats.
I don't like them, but my wife loves them, and I think that the Maine Coon is the different cat. I don't want a cat who's freaking out all the time and constantly pissed off. Apparently, these Maine Coons are like dogs. Like they are like chill AF, and they're just big and cool. They're not real catty, you know?
Uh-huh.
No?
Yeah, I just
not feeling it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe this is like a yin and yang thing. I don't rule that out either.
My luck, I would buy it, and it would just straight up, first thing it would do is kill my puppy. Like that'd be the first thing. First thing, just scratch its eyes out, and then run away.
Get a little munchkin cat.
And they're not cheap either, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they're very cheap. I think they're pretty expensive.
I think you'd enjoy having them empty the litter box daily.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Well, that would be one of those things I'd make a deal with my wife because she's the one that wants it. I'd be like, look, if we get this, the litter box is on you. And then she'll wind up buying one of those that does it itself.
Yeah, those are not cheap, but probably there's a good reason.
Do they work?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Some Sky
It's
Mall.
several $100s for those things.
Is that a pain in the ass, by the way, cleaning the litter box?
No more than cleaning up. Oh, wait, you don't do that.
Yeah. It's a pain in the... It's a chore, right?
It's just like any other chore.
Yeah.
Picking up after your dog's poop.
Yeah.
Scooping the litter box. It's just poop.
But
how often?
So I have 3 cats, so we have 3 litter boxes.
Holy ass.
You knew I had 3 cats.
I did not know you had 3 cats. I thought you had 2. Oh, that's
Deb,
right.
How
You just
many
got a
times
kitten.
on the air have I said
You just got another kitten. I forgot.
So many times, yeah.
Right. I feel for Deb.
Because Lucky, was thrown out of a car window and
Lucky flew out the window.
Naomi.com.
Yeah, Naomi.
And Bradshaw.com.
Rescued that cat.
She did. Just his name is Lucky.
And
Little
we have
black
3
cat.
cats. 2 of my daughters, Lucky, and then Jeter. My boy Jeter, about to turn 15 in a month. And
Jeets is struggling.
He's limping, but he's hanging in there.
How many times did you have to tell Jeter that you have 3 cats?
Nothing. He doesn't hear anything.
Still heard it more than I did.
Yeah.
Will you get another dog?
No.
You won't?
Probably not. Not for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you not a dog person, or you just don't want to go through the
his
raising one?
heart's going to be broken.
Oh, man. There's two ways you do
We've
that,
had
though, right?
Jeter for 15 years.
I know, buddy, but here's the
You're
thing.
not a dog person?
Yeah, but...
And then we still have to... I didn't plan on having 4 animals roaming the house as I'm sleeping.
Right.
The real Noah's Ark over there.
When Jeter does cross the Rainbow Bridge, I'll still be left with 3 cats.
Yeah. But you won't have a dog, dude. And Jeets is your dog, right?
It's, wow. Just think of the time I get back of not having to walk them.
Anybody want to take a bet? Within 3 months, he'll have another dog. Anybody want to take those odds? No, I can't say it out loud because Jack will do it on 3 months in one day just to spite me. I get it.
No, I think
too much work.
I think the 3 cats is enough.
I really do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I'll have to get him one then.
Also, by the way...
Merry Christmas, Jack. Here it comes.
I've been tempted. I mean, sometimes when Pet Alliance they bring in and they're like, oh, man.
My God.
Yeah.
Every week they bring those things in.
Yeah.
I told my wife last night, I said, should have another dog right now. Because I almost grabbed that one last week, the blue-eyed one.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in my backpack and tell her to shut up.
If my youngest leaves and takes 2 cats with her, then I'll think about it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Well, someone did text about Maine Coon cats are really cool and really expensive. Apparently require monthly grooming. They also said, I can't wait to hear Jim complaining about having to scoop human-side loads.
Oh, yeah, no thanks.
Out of the litter.
Right,
Yeah, and
here comes a kitten.
And you have to do it like a gold miner, which is even weirder.
I got a tray. It's like you're sifting for gold.
Right,
like you're
yeah.
a 49er. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Some clanging pots and a hat
Yeah.
with the thing built up. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. What's a trad wife?
Trad wife.
What's a trad wife? I'll tell you what that is next.
Uh-oh.
All the cool kids are doing it, and you want to be like the cool kids, don't you? Well, don't you? The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Checking up on I-4, bumper-to-bumper traffic westbound between Osceola Parkway and approaching State Road 429. A couple accidents to watch out for. Sand Lake Road westbound at I-4. The right lane is blocked. The Greenway northbound between Florida's Turnpike and Landstar Road. There's delays due to an accident there. Colonial Drive eastbound at the Greenway. Travel with caution through there as well. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber.
HOA and condo board members, it pays to have fiber. Let Blue Stream Fiber show you how fiber internet provides revenue for communities while saving up to 50% off retail rates. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio to find out more.
It's time to get pre-approved so you don't miss the party this summer at your new pool home. That mortgage guy, Don, has been helping people with their mortgage needs for over 20 years. So experience the mortgage broker difference like I did and save a bunch of money. How much? Well, government studies prove buyers save about $9,400 on average when you work with a mortgage broker rather than with the banks. Let that mortgage guy, Don, make your dream home a reality just like he did for me. It truly is peace of mind right at your fingertips at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Make your dream of a new paver's driveway, pool deck, beautiful patio, and artificial turf a reality with Pavers Depot. Join us at the largest pavers showroom in Central Florida. Over 400,000 square feet in stock, including Tamron brand pavers. Pavers Depot can get your job done in just 2 weeks with a free estimate on custom installation. Visit online at paversdepot.com or call 407-839-5900. 407-839-5900. paversdepot.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Do you need your contractor's license? In 4 short weekends with Chemtech School of Construction, you'll be able to ace the state exam. Get legal, get licensed, get Chemtech. Join us for a free info seminar this Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the Orlando Wyndham Garden, 1-800-875-PASS. gas.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow, guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Tools Ace Hardware has everything you need to get ready for spring. Now through February 29th, get the best prices on made-for-Florida Sunnyland fertilizers, Miracle Grow soils, Roundup weed and grass killers, yard tools, and more. Cypress mulch is 4 for $10 all month long. And don't forget to bring in your Steel outdoor power equipment to one of Tools Ace Hardware's 10 service centers for a spring tune-up. Tools Ace Hardware has 12 convenient locations in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store delivery or pickup. And be sure to look for our brand new Tools Ace Hardware store coming to Hamlin soon.
64,000. You agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Orlando? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Orlando for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. Orlando's the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Orlando and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
With all the new people moving here recently, we thought it'd be a good idea to explain International Diamond Center. If you've lived here a while, you already know this, so bear with us. International Diamond Center, also known as IDC, is not an ordinary jewelry store. It was started decades ago by a major East Coast diamond supplier, Keith LeClaire. Keith had international connections with diamond cutters and would sell diamonds to upscale jewelry stores. Then he decided to start selling direct to the public at prices that undercut traditional jewelers in a big way. This no middleman approach caught on big, and now IDC is one of the largest and most successful jewelers in America, still providing exceptional quality and astonishing value. So if you've just moved here from New York or California or wherever, know that IDC is the area's go-to place for diamonds, fine designer jewelry, and Swiss timepieces. Just be prepared to be a little shocked when you see how great our values are, especially compared to where you came from. International Diamond Center. Just another great reason you made the move south. Get details, directions, store hours, and more at shopidc.com.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, the Jim Colbert Show, Prince of the Island, Jimmy and Jack. By law, you have to put up sign to say they have audio and video recording on site. You can get away with video recording, but not audio. But you do need to have a sign up that says there is video recording in progress. That's just the law.
Yeah.
Tinted and unclean.
I don't think that's 100% accurate, Prince of the Island. I'll give you an example why here in a second. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim. Jack is here. Oh, excuse me. Deb is here. Jack is here.
Don't think he likes me better, Dad, because we know that's not the case.
And Ross is as well. Oh, shut up.
What's up, Tim?
Shut up, you nit.
See what I mean?
I'm going to wind up busting. Oh, we're playing cards tonight.
Oh. You're going to need a safe word, Jack. That sounds like thinly wrapped love to me.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. We'll have Scott Brown coming up in a minute with It's Only Money. Find out what's going on. Boy, they're blowing up over there, man. They are booking these seminars left and right. We're already on the end of March seminar. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later today. Trad wife. Anybody want to take a shot at what a trad wife is? This is taking over. Well, not taking over. This is becoming a sect of social media.
Trad wives.
Trad wife. What's a trad wife?
It's the 3 wives in a relationship with one man.
No, that's a triad wife. Good try, though. No, I'm joking. I don't know if that is or not. That's not it. What do you think, Ross? What's a trad wife?
It's an acronym.
Okay.
Tires, relentlessly attack dead people. Next question.
Next topic. You nailed it. Let's move forward. More about Maine Coons.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think something with social media. They do it all for the likes and shares. They are single wives for the gram.
It's actually not bad guess. What do you think a trad wife is, Def? Let me just tell you real quick. You aren't one. Or even though you're not married, you wouldn't be a trad wife. Let me see. I think Ross...
Am I a trad wife?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if Olivia is a trad wife or not. I don't believe...
Trophy wife that you show off online?
No, that's funny. I don't think NaomiBradshaw.com is a trad wife either, but I'm not 100 on that.
What about your wife, Tori?
My wife is definitely not a trad wife. Although the funny part is my wife dreams of being a trad wife, but she's not.
Stay at home, mom.
Trad stands for traditional.
Oh.
So here's the thing that's happening on social media. And of course, when social media starts something like that, you'll get people to fall behind. The idea of trad wives is to assume the role of a traditional wife post World War II. So going into the 50s,
right.
That wife that you saw on early television shows, whether it be I Love Lucy or
Leave It to Beaver, Father Knows Best.
That's right. The traditional mom stays at home, puts on the apron after getting her makeup perfect to work around the house all day. Husband comes home. Wife has kids clean. Dinner's done. Her entire focus is on taking care of the kids, the home, and the husband. Well, believe it or not, that is now becoming a thing on social media with younger women.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Younger women dressing like the 50s, assuming 50s haircuts, and even kind of going back to a little bit of the decor in the 50s to set their homes up a little bit like that. But they're doing the trad wife. And
do they have colored friends?
And colored TV?
Jack, I don't know if it's that far back to the 50s.
Oh.
But what they're saying is they are trying to go back to the quote-unquote traditional gender roles in the American family post-World War II, which would be exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and the texter also says it's sometimes called trad con for traditional conservative.
Oh, really? I didn't mention that in this at all, but this is a CNN story, so it didn't say that at all. I don't think they can print the word conservative legally there. Yeah, but so...
They do. You jest, but they do.
I know. I read it all the time. They do. Actually, CNN takes more shots at their own people than Fox ever would in a million years. But it says here that traditional gender roles, it means staying devoted to housework, taking care of the children, and being, what's the word, Deb? Subservient to your husband.
Oh, see, I didn't know that word.
Yeah. So this is why you would never be a trad wife. For one thing, you love working, you love doing your thing, and I believe that you are...
I have no reason to stay home and ask Chris to go work all day when we don't have children at home to raise.
And you're independent, though. That I find that, and what they're saying is that this isn't actually turning out to be a good thing. That these young women, 26, 27, 28 years old, are going into these trad wife relationships thinking that's exactly what their role was supposed to be because that's what they were told when they were growing up. That's the way that women are supposed to be. That's, when you grow up in a house now, you allow your husband to go off to work, you take care of the kids, you stay home and maintain the home as a, quote, trad wife. But what they're saying is this woman tried this and it actually wound up in a divorce. And a lot of them are doing that. Now there's an entire group of people who are former trad wives getting together and saying, what was your experience like? And they just found it to be the reason why it doesn't exist now. Quite oppressive, and leaves you with no individuality at all.
See, I wouldn't want to sign up exactly for that. Maybe a little hybrid, a little balance in between the two. I would love to know that my wife, works like 2 or 3 days a week. But I also know that I am a dumb human. And at the end of the day, if I am with someone and she's leaning on me 100% for money, while I am trying to achieve maybe financial goals that I think are for the best of us, I could see myself, holding or getting that
Do you really need that, honey?
Well, yeah, just getting the best of me of going, oh my God. All right, sure, yeah, we can buy that too. And then I don't ever have to deal with that because Olivia, my wife, works.
Yeah.
And also quite well.
And that's, by the way, that's one of the major issues because part of being a trad wife is you give up everything. The man has control over the purse strings, over the finances. You don't get to make decisions. And even in some of these cases, and we've heard this in the extreme cases even up until today, that the woman has to ask permission to have friends come over, ask permission to go places. Like it turned into a very oppressive scenario.
It turned into having another father.
Yeah. Starting off as something that you thought, when you look at it through your rose-colored glasses, like, okay, this is as Americana as it gets, right? But it really didn't turn out to be that way for a number of the people they talked to here. Women just found themselves trapped and felt like their individuality, their want to provide had been kind of usurped, and it really left them feeling quite empty.
There was one thing I saw on Twitter recently of one gentleman that you'll say would very much loves the trad wife thing because he actually made her a bathroom schedule to help her maximize her time in the morning.
Oh, wow, really? That's very sweet of him.
Isn't it? I thought that was so thoughtful.
Yeah.
So thoughtful.
Yeah, I would, if I was to pitch something like that, I would just record it for social to watch my wife react to me handing her a schedule of any sort that told her what to do with her time at all.
Now, being raised by a Hispanic woman, right, being that my mother is from Colombia, very traditional gender roles. So growing up, my brother helped my dad mow the lawn, shovel the snow, take care of the outside of the house. My job was, my mom would tell me stories about growing up. She would show me how to cook, how to sew, how to do laundry, how to make a bed, how to polish brass, not because I'm a woman, but because someday you may have a family of your own, and you're going to need to know how to take care of them.
Sure.
But if you were a boy, are you with the dad, though?
Yeah, your brother didn't learn how to polish brass?
My brother did not learn those skills until he went into the Marine Corps.
Right.
And then once my brother became a Marine, he could make a bed where you could bounce a quarter off of it.
Yeah.
But before that, his leftovers would be covered in saran wrap so he didn't have to lift the foil.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not kidding, guys.
Stereotypical of a Latino mom and son relationship.
But not even. I mean, one of the girls I went to high school with, she's my best friend in high school. Her brother used to have to drive from Notre Dame all the way back home every weekend because he didn't know how to do his laundry.
I heard a rumor of that scenario where the mother would put toothpaste on the brush for this boy.
Oh, yeah. I mean... Now, if I were in Ross's shoes with Olivia, right, because she's always been fascinated by that mid-century lifestyle.
See, that's the reason I said that she would be the only one that I think that would maybe adhere to something like this.
And that's where I agree with Ross, that they could come up with a hybrid of it because childcare costs alone doesn't make sense for the both of them to work outside of the house if they can financially finagle it so that she can stay home more often than not with their child rather than having to pay. For me, I wouldn't ask Chris to do that because to me, that's not fair to ask him and you go out and work the 40 hours a week while I stay home and clean and cook.
Yeah, but I mean,
I can certainly do more with my day than that.
Yeah, but you're right. But I mean, again, these women are going into this relationship and going into these triad relationships thinking that is their job. Like they wouldn't even consider what would be good for them or their time. Their entire existence is wrapped up in maintaining that home. That's where their pride comes from. Like their entire social group, actually the one girl that they talked to at the very end of the story talked about losing all of her friends basically and having to restart at 37-year-olds with 6 kids because she had become so reliant on her husband that she had to kind of relearn simple life skills, how to manage money, how to get, how to register the kids for school, like how to do these silly things simply because she had yet to do that because her husband took care of all the business of the home.
And that's where it's interesting that we're romanticizing something that literally took, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg to make it so that a woman could get money on her own. She could rent an apartment. She could apply for a credit card.
Right, have a credit card,
checking account. All those things that weren't allowed. So we're romanticizing the parts that we think look good when in reality it's
not so good.
Not all that fun.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. One of the other things they said was a lot of the women they talked to in this study felt obligated to get married, that inside they really didn't even want to do it, but they'd been taught from a young age that was, quote, the thing to do. When you graduated from high school, you went on the hunt, You found a qualified man that you thought could provide. You locked him down, and off you went, just like it was 1955. Because, I mean, you as a woman, you couldn't dream about going to college or having your own career.
Well, the only reason you went to college is to find a man.
Right.
And knowing marriage, have that same survey with all the dudes, and they probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just was trying to do life right now.
Exactly. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with It's Only Money and our buddy Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
Real radio is the news junkie.
I want to lose weight myself.
Oh my God, you're
going
to get Ozempic, aren't you?
I'm not going to get Ozempic. I'm just cutting calories, and it's working so far. If
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Watch out for bumper-to-bumper traffic due to an accident on Sand Lake Road westbound at I-4. On the Greenway, there's a bit of delays due to an accident northbound between Florida's Turnpike and Landstar Boulevard. Watch out for heavy delays on I-4 eastbound between Osceola Parkway and approaching State Road 535. Heavy congestion there. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Sharp stomach pain? Advice is here. Consult a nurse. Answers, advice around the clock. Consult a nurse. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
Jim Colbert Show question of the day is now on Twitter, or actually it's in our YouTube chat. You just search Jim Colbert Show in YouTube, and you can take part in the poll right there. We want to know what you have to think, and we'll talk about that at the end of the program. It's brought to you today by WeAreNotTheBanks.com, direct mortgage lenders. That's Brad Siebert and his team at WeAreNotTheBanks.com. They have loans for all types of buyers, whether you are looking for that new home or maybe refinancing the home where you live. Good credit or bumps in your credit can still work with you. All types of loans, VA loans, conventional loans, jumbo loans, no income documentation loans. I use WeAreNotTheBanks.com for my refi. It was fast, easy, got a great rate. You can do it as well. Is this the year that you are going to be changing homes? WeAreNotTheBanks.com is where you get started for all your mortgage needs. NMLS ID number 66247, equal housing opportunity.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
Torres on his left foot shoots. He scores!
Orlando City is on the road next weekend as the Lions travel south to take on rival Inter Miami on Saturday, March 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Tune in on Real Radio 104.1 and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. And Lions return home on Saturday, March 9th at 7:30, taking on Minnesota United, presented by Dex Imaging. The match will be a celebration of our 10th season in Major League Soccer. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or tune in on Real Radio 104.1 and watch on any device on the Apple TV app.
Hey Orlando, are you looking for new ways to save? Well, on Verizon, you don't need to be on a family plan to get our best deals. Switch to Verizon, and for a limited time, plans start at just $50 per month for a single line with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone with unlimited welcome. That's a savings of $15 per month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love to stream, like Netflix and Max. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. A better plan to save is Verizon. This offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today.
$180 BYOD promo credit per phone applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line with your own 4G or 5G smartphone on unlimited welcome plan required. $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line. Additional terms apply. In select markets only. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. For unlimited welcome plan in times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Orlando Magic Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Are you offended? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to The Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in on this beautiful Tuesday. Hope you had a wonderful day. Hope you had a big week planned. Big, successful week planned. It's always good to have a good, powerful week going.
Amen.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well, and every single Tuesday around now, we do It's Only Money with our buddy Scott Brown.
Helping people passionate about planning for their future rise above investment myths to build real wealth. Isn't that really just common sense financial advice? It's both. Oh, okay. It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
That's right. You guys give it up for Scott Brown.
Yay! Looks like a rock star.
Look at this guy. My God, with his blades on.
I know. Check it out.
What is
I'm
that?
in Arizona.
What?
Yeah. What's it like in Arizona?
I'm protecting my retinas.
Yeah. What's it like in Arizona right now? What's the weather like? What's it, about 103?
It's like 71 and not a cloud in the sky. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you got to bring did you bring your clubs?
I did.
Yeah, good for you, boss. Look at you. How long are you out there?
Yeah, man. I'm going to be out here for a few days for an educational conference, and when nobody's looking, I'm going to go play golf.
A lot of good golf up there.
This is the guy who just spent a month in Colorado, right?
Hey, listen, I want to tell you about a bonus of being remote is you get to stare at Jack for like 5 minutes during the promos, and I don't know what you're eating, but it looks really good, and it's making me very hungry.
Apple, baby. Keeping it healthy.
Jack eats apples and almonds, non-salted almonds, by the way, because it doesn't like living.
Oh, yeah. You don't want any salt.
I do want to keep living.
Well, Scott Brown, obviously from Edgewater Family Wealth, has been coming on the show for It's Only Money now for quite a while and has been quite successful. Actually, we got a text this morning that the second March seminar is also booked now?
Yeah, so the March 20th seminar is booked solid. But the good news is we added a March 27th date at 11 a.m. at Ruth's Chris as well. So, the events are fun, Jim. I mean, we had a good group out. It's really a tight group. It's not a huge room, so it's beautiful that we can do what we need to do. We talk about what we need to talk about, but it's an intimate setting. so folks can really have a thoughtful conversation, ask good questions.
Yeah, Scott, and every day, read the news, read quite a bit of it. And one of the stories I actually have today is how people are kind of making it through this thing with inflation, how they're kind of dealing with rising prices and stuff. And I have found that, I am talking to more people who are really interested in engaging with someone like yourself to kind of set themselves up a little better, because I feel like with a lot of the things you watch politically that a lot of people don't know exactly what's going to be happening with their career. Of course, with AI coming around, nobody knows how their job's going to be affected. And I think now more than ever, younger people want to be prepared, especially if they don't have a company that maybe is helping them do that. People who are who are small business owners want more ideas of how to maximize the profits they're having and then take that money and have it work for them long term. So I think we're just kind of hitting at the right time with the right product, buddy.
Yeah, and what's funny is we give millennials, and I don't remember what the group after them is called, but whatever they're called. What are they called?
Zoomers.
Is that Gen? Oh yeah, Zoomers or Gen Zs?
Yeah.
Zoomers. So the Zoomers, and we give these people a lot of grief, but the reality is my experience with them is they're very conscientious about their money. They are thinking about it, I think, considerably more than, say, Gen X or the Boomers did. The Boomers and Gen X kind of figured it out a little bit later. They were preoccupied with other things, I suppose. But I find that this generation I think maybe coming through 2008 when they were young, when they were kids, coming through the crisis, through the Great Recession, made them aware that they should be more aware, if you will. So I am finding those conversations to be both numerous and thoughtful.
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, Ross really represents that generation for me. When I look at people Ross's age, he's 34 years old, and he's really thinking about, especially with a kid on the way, thinking about how he is going to take care of himself 20, 30 years from now after his work career is over. And it's really refreshing to see people your age. My daughter is only 27 or 26, and she's going to get an appointment with you soon to do that very thing. And I would encourage every parent out there listening, if they have kids in that 18, 19, 20, 25, just getting a career, to get with somebody like Scott and begin now learning how to manage your money so that in 30 or 40 years, you don't really have to worry about anything. You can make decisions on your schedule. You don't have to wait to see what your job's going to do.
Well, I think it's an educational process, right? And like any educational process, it takes time. You don't just read a book or watch a YouTube and then suddenly become a financial genius. It takes time. People need to go through the trial and error. I did this, that didn't. People have to be okay with the error part, right? Everybody likes the trial and error process, except they're not real fond of the error part. So you have to give yourself time to go through trial and error. Don't make major mistakes. Don't do anything to blow yourself up, but try things. Okay, you think crypto's a thing. I may or may not agree with you, but give it a whirl, maybe a small whirl. Look at mutual funds, look at ETFs, look at stocks, look at whatever strikes your fancy. And over time, especially if you're in your 20s or your 30s, you have time to develop a process that works for you. Whereas a lot of people want to develop a process in 15 minutes watching a video.
Right.
That eventually blows up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think I talked to my son about this. I believe one of the biggest injustices is you watch social media and all you see is people who are 25 turning you on to the next greatest get rich quick scheme or scam, and rather than spending time to learn how you can do it slow and low and actually have it be manageable, you're out there trying putting things at risk that shouldn't be at risk really young in your life, and for nothing for somebody on social media. Well, Scott here is with us to kind of talk about some few things, and actually one of these things kind of fits in what we were just talking about there. It's about chasing. And it says, if you don't own NVIDIA, don't chase. And I don't know really exactly what you mean about that. I'm guessing you mean don't chase the latest financial trend and look for that to save you?
Yeah, if I had $1 for everybody who's mentioned the stock NVIDIA to me over the last 6 weeks, I'd be a wealthy man. The reality is that there's always a glamour stock, whether it was Microsoft 40 years ago or Apple 30 years ago or NVIDIA today, or whether it was Bitcoin or Ethereum or, some .com stock back in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's always something that gets people's attention. People get preoccupied with it because it seems like it can't miss, like a stock like NVIDIA that's just blown it out. I mean, people who bought it a year ago are really happy, as well they should be. It was a good purchase for them. But to buy a stock after it's run 150, 200% and is trading at 80 times earnings, which is literally 4 times the market, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm not telling you to or not to buy the stock because I still think it's a great company. But you have to say to yourself, am I going to put a bunch of money in something whose day may have already come and gone? It's because you feel left out. People feel they hate to hear, I think it was Charlie Munger said, greed doesn't drive people's finances, envy drives their finances. So when you hear your buddy or the gal next door say, hey, I bought NVIDIA at 65 and it's $800, you're like, whoa, that's impressive, and I feel bad for some reason, right? You don't say, well, good for you. You're like, you go home and you kick the dog because you're like, why didn't I buy NVIDIA at $65? But there's zillions of those stories out there, and what happens to most people, they get in late and then they get their brains beat in because they chase something. Rather than saying, this is my process, I save, I buy these 10 stocks, or I buy these mutual funds, or I buy these ETFs, and over the next 30 years, I'm going to accumulate $1 million. They go, I want to put 10 grand in NVIDIA and hope it turns into $1 million, right? And I'm telling you, that did happen for some people over the last 5 or 6 years, but it's probably not going to happen for you.
It's peaked.
I don't know that it's peaked. I couldn't say that it's peaked. I would be lying if I told you I knew whether it's peaked or not. It might go to $1,500 for all I know. What I do know is at some point gravity is going to take over and mean reversion is going to occur. And some of the people who are chasing this stock are going to get their teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
And I mean, the people that bought it a year ago or 5 years ago, good for you. I applaud you. I'm happy for you. I think it's wonderful. You better have a process for taking profits when it makes sense. But at the end of the day, again, it's like when Bitcoin shot up, 80% of the people who bought Bitcoin bought it after it had already gone up to $40,000 or $50,000, right?
Right.
And most of them have gotten their teeth kicked in, if not higher, in fact. So don't do this with NVIDIA. Again, I'm not advocating to buy the stock, and I'm not advocating not to buy the stock or sell it. What I'm saying is don't chase any stock that is run up 100, 200, 400, 500% in a short amount of time thinking it's going to do that again, because it's unlikely.
Scott, can I ask you, because this is really, I am a blue chipper kind of guy. I don't really play this game very much. Is this, and this is one of those things where you're just basically, if you've heard out of it, by the time you hear about it, it's already too late?
For most people, yes. I mean, I think if you're chasing headlines, if somebody said to you again, Bitcoin was at 60,000 and you're like, all right, I mean, it's done really well. Something having done well does not mean anything going forward, right? People use recency bias. They say, well, NVIDIA and Amazon have done really well in the past. In the most recent past, in my mind, they are good stocks because they did well yesterday, last week, or last month. Therefore, they will do well tomorrow, next week, and next month. That is, nothing could be further from the truth. You're fooling yourself if you think there's a pattern there.
Yeah. Let me ask you a quick question, because somebody just texted something in, which has been a running joke on the show for a while. How often do you buy a stock or a company just because you feel you know what that market is going to provide? Now, I'll give you some context here. I talked a few years ago, and I said on the air, I think that if you bought Beyond Meat right now, Beyond Meat, the vegetarian or the vegetable-based protein that looks like hamburger meat, I felt that. I just got this gut feeling. I said, I should probably buy a bunch of this right now, because I get the feeling that trend-wise, this is eventually going to have to wind up in a fast food restaurant, because someone's going to take a shot at this to see if it sticks. And one of these guys is going to take a chance. And it turned out Burger King turned out to be the first restaurant I remember that took a shot at this and used Beyond Meat. Their stock went from $5 to whatever it is now. Somebody just texted and said it's up 80% today. And I have kicked myself in the ass perpetually now for the last 5 years for not being involved, because I'm not being dead honest with you here. It could have been a game-changing amount of money there. But in that same sense, the trend is already gone. It's already gone through a roller coaster ride. But do you ever do that? Do you ever, like, if you know something about something inside, you kind of get that feeling? Do you use that, or do you always lean on expertise when you make purchases of that nature?
I never buy on gut feelings. I have a process for my personal wealth. I have a process for buying quality stocks that I believe are going to. First of all, I don't buy stocks. I buy companies, right? If you approach something as I'm buying a company rather than a stock, so if a company like NVIDIA, I am by no means saying it's not a great company. It's a fantastic company, and they do fantastic things, and they have the market cornered on microchips. So, of course, it's a great company. The question, in fact, somebody asked me a question recently, should I buy it? And I said, well, is it more than 20% of your net worth? No. Okay, well, okay, as long as you're not getting too overextended. Do you believe NVIDIA is going to be around in 5 or 10 years and still be a profitable company? Yes. Okay, then sure, put some money in the stock. But if you're buying it because you think it's going to double again, I think you're making a mistake. I do not do that. I will tell you very honestly, I am terrible at predicting short-term gyrations of stocks. Terrible at predicting what Bitcoin's going to do, terrible at deciding which is going to be the next NVIDIA and which is going to be the next dud. I am bad at that. What I'm awesome at is predicting what the next 10 or 20 years look like for capitalism, stock markets, and quality companies. I'm very good at that.
See, and again, that's kind of what I'm like. I get that gut feeling. It's like you feel like an ass for not kind of moving that way, but then you kind of look and go, well, maybe the analytics don't say that. All right, let's move on to the next thing because we only have a little bit of time left. And I want to make sure to get to this because I'm actually kind of interested in this. You said you don't, quote unquote, win at life. Health, finances, or marriage, you survive and get better at it all. And actually, as I started thinking about that statement, you're 100% right. As you go through the dryer cycle of life and as you tumble around and get your face kicked in, you kind of learn how not to do that again. But you use the word win, which kind of confused me a little bit. What do you mean by you don't win at life like that?
Well, I think we can draw a line between what we just talked about and what we're now talking about. NVIDIA, people are trying to win. If my net worth is 20 grand and I'm trying to accumulate a lot of money because I feel like I'm behind, I can take 20 grand and turn it into 200 grand by buying NVIDIA. That's the thought people have. They're trying to win at that trade, right? You don't win at trades. You don't win at life. You don't win at marriage, right? You could argue with your wife about who's going to wash the dishes, right? And you could win the argument. And you could win that argument maybe once or twice. By the third time you win that argument, you're going to be washing the dishes by yourself and doing everything else by yourself, right? Because you don't win at marriage, you survive at marriage, you grow together. The same is true of money, right? If you say, hey, I'm not trying to win with a stock trade, I'm trying to accumulate assets, right? Because back to your point, you're kind of kicking yourself in the ass using your words about the trade with Beyond Meat. But I could tell you 1,000 stories of things I could have done. I could have bought Microsoft at the IPO. I could have bought Apple when it first came out. I could have bought, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I could have bought a piece of real estate in downtown Winter Park in 1974, right? I could have done all those things, but I did none of them. Yet, the things that I did do with high probabilities of success have worked out so that I am a fairly comfortable human being when it comes to finances. So people are trying to win. They're trying to, hey, I did this stock trade and now I'm rich. The probabilities of that are so low. It's like the probability of buying Bitcoin and having it go from 50,000 to 5 million. It's not impossible, but the probability is about 2%, 1%. The probability of you saving $500 a month for the next 30 years and becoming a millionaire, the probability of that at 4 or 5 or 6% is 99%. So people are bad at probabilities because the possibility of a win is always in their face.
And the patience thing gets them after a while too, right? Because, I mean, like you said, you feel like you have to win. You feel like you're not doing anything. And I think, again, that's another one of those things. I feel like people believe that they have to be perpetually active with their finances to really have it work. And in reality, I have found it's the exact opposite of that. The one thing you have to do is kind of leave it alone. It's like cooking a perfect steak, right? You put it in the hot pan and then you walk away for a minute. You don't move it. You don't do anything. Let the thing do its job, and then you'll have exactly what you want.
Yeah, Albert Einstein said that there's smart, genius, and simple in that order, right? You could be smart, you could even be a genius, but once you make something simple is when you've really done something.
Wow, awesome. Well, buddy, listen, as always, we appreciate your time. And if you wanted to get involved with more of these seminars, it's EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. And the next one is the 27th of this month?
March.
Yeah, it's March 27th is the next one we have availability in. And I got to tell you, that one's filling up quick. So give us a shout on EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. There's a sign-up sheet. And of course, my book and the other books are available there as well.
And again, it costs nothing to go to this. What you could get out of it could change your life, and you're welcome to go when you can. So again, book that. It's March 27th. There are slots open, no cost. It's at Ruth Chris. Go to EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com, learn all about that. And like Scott said, I got a couple books over there, and you may want to grab one of those, even though you look at the name of it, and it's not going to want to make you buy it because it says, I've never made anybody a millionaire. But you have to listen to the words. It's good. Scott, as always, thank you, buddy. We appreciate your time, and drive safe and travel safe.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
You got to get one.
Hey, keep those blades on.
All right.
Doug Gottlieb, here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
As we inch closer to the draft, it appears Justin Fields is closer to being dealt to a new team. Fields has scrubbed all things Chicago off his social media, what young players do now. Trade talks in the works. His passing numbers, the same as last year, flat. Running numbers, actually gone down. The Bears did their part. They gave Fields some nice pieces, but 3 years in, at this point, he's just not good enough to keep. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs, desk chairs, computer chairs, even gaming chairs. In store only, offer ends 3/2. See associates for details. Stop by Staples today and grab a seat.
Hey, everybody, Jim Colbert here from my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Had a meeting with Judy, the owner here in Central Florida, a couple weeks ago, and man, 71 people up until that point, she had saved their, I would say she, Life Imaging FLA and their scans saved their life. And here's what I'm talking about. This is not me being like me exaggerating, kind of blowing this thing up. It is absolutely no joke and no question. We've had people approach us at events going, thank you so much for telling us about Life Imaging FLA. You know, I would have never known that had it not been for you guys. My wife and I went to get the scan. I thought I had issues. Wife had issues. I was perfectly fine. That happens all the time. And now it's time for you to be a hero and tell your friends and family about Life Imaging FLA. If you have a family member you think could benefit from Life Imaging FLA and their free heart scan, you should tell them about it because this is saving lives every single day. No dyes. You don't take off your clothes. This only takes a few minutes. Do exactly what I did. Call Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. But remember, it's a $699 value. And while you're there, ask about the cancer screening as well. Here's how you make your appointment. Simply pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. That is all you have to do. Pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that call today. Make this year, 2024, the year you take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Make your dream of a new Pavers driveway, pool deck, beautiful patio, and artificial turf a reality with Pavers Depot. Join us at the largest Pavers showroom in Central Florida. Over 400,000 square feet in stock, including Temron brand pavers. Pavers Depot can get your job done in just 2 weeks with a free estimate on custom installation. Visit online at paversdepot.com or call 407-839-5900. 407-839-5900. paversdepot.com.
McDonald's McCafe iced coffee wakes you up like the perfect song. The 100% Arabica beans get your head nodding. Yeah, then the cream drops like a smooth bass line. Add some ice to chill it down, and some French vanilla flavor. There you go. Or change it up and go with caramel. Either way, it's a stone cold classic. Start your day with $1.49 McCafe iced coffee, available during breakfast hours only. Music to my ears. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. My day just flows better when I make my first stop McDonald's. I can choose 2 faves and save big with a bundle of savory sausage McMuffin or flaky sausage biscuit with crispy hash browns for breakfast for $2.79. Or I can make Mickey D's my last stop. Lunch, dinner, a late night snack perhaps, when I bundle a crispy McChicken or juicy McDouble with delicious small fries for only $3.69. Now my day is made the tastiest way when I bundle and save at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid with product served.
History is beautiful, brutal, and often ridiculous. Join me, Ben Bullitt.
And me, Noel Brown, as we dive into some of the strangest stories from across the span of human civilization in Ridiculous History.
Whether we're exploring the accidental invention of hold music,
or how people used to rent pineapples, join us to hear the many ways history can be oh so ridiculous.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Cheers to you, girl. I know you're excited about the new job.
Oh, thanks so much.
Hey, is that my engagement ring you're wearing?
Don't be silly. Oh, wow. They are identical. How did that happen?
Don't tell me. He went to jail.
Yeah, yours too, I guess.
Wow.
Don't make her settle for one of those cookie cutter rings from the big corporate chain jewelry stores. At International Diamond Center, you can get her a stunning one-of-a-kind designer ring, one that's as unique as she is. IDC has over 4,000 handcrafted rings from world-class designers like Tacori, Verragio, Henry Dossi, and others. These are designers that you'll never see in one of those mega corporate stores, but we have them starting at under $1,000. So, ladies, don't settle for ordinary. For a ring that will be yours and yours alone, make sure he goes to
International Diamond Center.
International Diamond Center, with 4 convenient Orlando locations.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like The Vinyl Experience. Just search Vinyl Experience and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is why YouTube was created at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and
Hey, Jimmy.
watch.
Speaking from somebody that's actually allergic to cats, we have a couple Siamese, and there's something about the Siamese coat. They don't have an undercoat, or there's something about, anyways, about their fur that I'm not allergic to them. And they're great cats, and they kind of act like dogs, I think. Except they do talk a lot, but they're great cats.
I heard they're awesome. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is. Yep. And Ross has the sauce jar.
Y'all aboard.
Chugga, chugga.
Lickety-clack, lickety-clack.
I have a beautiful pair of tickets to see Tom Segura at the Kia Center. That show's going down March 14th. Tom Segura, one of the biggest comedians on the planet right now. Host of Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah.
With Bert.
Big social media following.
Yeah. He's also, or at least he used to be, a bigger fella.
Yeah.
But he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And that is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local and support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company that can handle your move, local or long distance. Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show, because that's going to get you a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Clickety-clack. Back to you.
We'll be using those guys soon.
Oh,
yeah. They're going to pack it up. They'll take it. I ain't doing it.
That's why you like moving.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sauce, who's first today, buddy?
All right, let's welcome Marcia.
Marcia, right there on line 4. Marcia, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm doing great. Would you like to play a little game with us?
Good. Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I guess.
Show.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow we can get a coyote with a throat problem on for trivia.
Still on air.
Okay, good. Oh, my bad.
Still on online.
Hey, Marcia, how you doing? Ready? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, very nice. All right, well, we got a little game here for you. You got a question, 4 answers. One of those answers is untrue.
There are people, too.
If you can find it, I will send you off to the sauce jar. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. On this day, are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
On this day in 1976, I got it backwards. Listen, I got it backwards.
Why'd you choose the older date?
Stop. Because it's just transpose the numbers, man. It's not that hard. On this day in 1976, Swedish pop band ABBA plays Australia for the very first time, sparking the beginning of ABBA mania. Here are 3 fun facts about the band ABBA and 1 pickled herring of a lie.
Yeah.
Number 1, they weren't immediately ABBA. Other names considered were Alibaba, Fab, and Baba, and Festfolk. Number 2, ABBA was the first pop group from a non-English speaking country to consistently top the U.S. Billboard charts. Number 3, legendary English rock band The Who recorded their very last album at ABBA's Polar Music Studio in Stockholm, Sweden. Or lastly, 3.5 million people applied for tickets to see ABBA at London's Royal Albert Hall. That could fill the venue 580 times. Which one of those is a lie?
I'm going to say the first one.
No, that's absolutely true, unfortunately. They weren't immediately ABBA. They were called a number of things beforehand: Alibaba, Fab, Baba, and Festfolk was the last they performed under before changing their name to ABBA.
Sorry, Marsha.
Which one is next there, Ross?
I liked Marsha. I thought she was a perfect trivia contestant because she's not going to Google the answers. Let's welcome Matt.
Matt is right there on line 3. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Buddy, we're talking about the band ABBA. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, ABBA was the first pop group from a non-English speaking country to consistently top the U.S. Billboard charts. Number 2, legendary English rock band The Who recorded their last album at ABBA's Polar Music Studios in Stockholm. Or lastly, 3.5 million people applied for tickets to see ABBA at London's Royal Albert Hall. That could fill the venue 580 times.
The first one.
No, that's true, buddy. They were the very first non-English speaking band to really have any consistent success, and not only in America but in Australia, in Europe. It was gigantic. It was truly ABBA mania.
Oh, they were huge.
Who's next, boss?
Let's welcome Guy.
Guy, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy, doing great here. Talking about ABBA, you got a 50-50 shot at winning that prize. Here we go. Number 1, legendary English rock band The Who recorded their last album at ABBA's Polar Music Studio in Stockholm, Sweden. Or lastly, 3.5 million people applied for tickets to see ABBA at London's Royal Albert Hall. That could fill that venue 580 times.
Well, I think it's the last one is wrong.
No, that's true, buddy. Absolutely true. Unfortunately, it is true. There were 2 dates they were playing. They were playing a Friday and Saturday night, and 3.5 million people applied for those tickets, and that would be enough people to fill that venue 580 times. That's how popular they were. Up top is Dwayne. Dwayne, how you doing, boss?
Oh, doing great now.
You are doing really good. Tell me if this is true. Legendary English rock band The Who recorded their last album at ABBA's Polar Music Studio in Stockholm.
That's a lie.
It is a lie, but for extra bonus points, which is nothing, can you tell me what legendary English band that's true for?
Rolling Stones.
No, it's Led Zeppelin, but that's a really good guess. Led Zeppelin.
I was close.
Yeah, you were, buddy. I'm going to put you on hold there.
Still got a prize.
But yeah, Led Zeppelin used the Polar Music Studios to record In Through the Outdoor, which was their last album. Whose last album wasn't until 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were recording it for a while there. A couple other things you may not know about ABBA. You guys fans, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not like ABBA music, right?
It's hard. You can make fun of it, but then when it comes on and you're like oh, damn, this is good.
It's so formulaic and perfect. I mean, it's impossible not to think it's catchy.
Dude, give me a Man After Midnight.
Yeah, dude. Give me SOS. That's like a crazy good song. All right. A few other things you may not know about ABBA before we slide over to Ross Thoughts. Their outfits were outrageous, and they had a reason. Because if you'll remember, a lot of their outfits that they wore on stage were like, they were clowned left and right. But there's a reason they did this. What do you think it was?
Eurovision contract.
No, not exactly.
No, it was some help group that would make them, so they wore them to support this group.
That is a really good guess, too. What do you think, Deb?
It was the 70s.
That's as good a guess as any. But the fact is, in Sweden, and I think maybe a little bit here in America, if the government couldn't prove that they wore those clothes on the street,
taxes.
They could deduct them from their taxes. So they made the outfits so outrageous that no government could assume that they would wear that to anywhere else but to perform it. So that's why the outfits were so clowny.
Wow.
Like I said, Led Zeppelin recorded their final album. Let's see. ABBA was so big in Australia that their 1976 TV special got more viewers than the 1969 moon landing.
Yep.
By a bunch, by the way. It wasn't really close. They love ABBA in Australia. During the Cold War, ABBA could not receive Russian money for performances, right? Because of international law.
Oh, right.
How do you think they got paid?
Vodka.
Gold.
Great guess. Yeah. Material for new outfits.
Oh, caviar.
Yeah. Oil stocks.
Oh.
They were paid with oil stocks from Russia.
Sure, that worked out.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
I think they probably did okay with that. Probably didn't have to sell another album after that.
Who would have thought that good old ABBA was a group of oil barons?
Yeah, seriously.
What the hell?
And then lastly here, in 2000, I don't know if you guys remember this, I actually do. In 2000, an American-British business conglomerate offered ABBA how much money to play a 100-show tour, which they properly turned down?
$100 million.
Deb?
$250 million.
220.
You're a winner, Deb. $1 billion.
Whoa.
And they said no. That was in 2000.
Whoa.
24 years ago, ABBA turned down $1 billion for 100 shows. And they said no.
Eat your heart out, Mr. Beast.
And the two guys on the show, are on the band, right? They were married to the two girls. They were couples for a while. That only lasted a few years. After that, it was very bitter. And actually, at one point, I think Benny said that you will never see the four of them on stage again for any reason ever. And they lived up to that. To play music. I think they came together for like the 50th anniversary or whatever it was here recently to get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I believe to have the song Dancing Queen inducted into the
Music or Songwriters Hall of Fame?
That Smithsonian thing that they do up there. What's that thing called? Where it's like a cultural thing.
Right. The National Archives?
That's exactly it. Because Gloria just got that for I Will Survive. So interesting. There you go. ABBA invaded Australia today.
I feel like you're the Gandalf of restaurants, Jim.
Okay. So I guess that's a compliment, buddy. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
What I'm trying to say is that I am not, I think I goofed it. Jack, Ray, Trenley are from TK Law Firm.
Yes.
And myself, we went out and grabbed a drink and we got some dinner last night. And I think I may have embarrassed myself.
Oh, really? I'm dying to know how.
I like how you said that. I'm dying.
Well, no, we'll find out that.
Yeah, restaurant voices come equipped.
Do you do words good? Prove it. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
Travel with caution and expect bumper-to-bumper traffic. Authorities are clearing up an accident northbound between Winter and Vineland Road and West Road. There's an accident on Buena Vista Drive between Osceola Parkway and approaching Epcot Center Drive. Travel with caution there. And there's a bit of delays on I-4 due to an accident off to the shoulder now between State Road 417, Seminole County, and approaching Lake Mary Boulevard. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Dive into hibernation mode with a huge deal on deeper sleep during Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Shop now and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and receive a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Plus, get free and fast delivery to your door. Restrictions apply.
Make the most of your spring break. Visit the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, the only place where you can meet an astronaut, touch a moon rock, and stand nose to nose with the real space shuttle Atlantis, plus much more. Launching a bold new territory this spring at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex at a down-to-earth price, of course. Matter of fact, you can take advantage of this new 2-day ticket offer they have, costing less than $45 per day and offering maximum flexibility for the entire family. Just visit KennedySpaceCenter.com for more tickets and information. Blast off this spring. Make your vacation at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex an out-of-this-world experience. Calling all space explorers, come face-to-face with the real space, cutting-edge innovations of space exploration from NASA. Learn more and get your tickets today at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Orlando Magic Mop Crew. we've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver,
Just give me a shot.
meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all,
Come on, focus.
they'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1,748 per month per thousand finance. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and in-mat credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 3/4/24.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Hey Orlando, are you looking for new ways to save? Well, on Verizon, you don't need to be on a family plan to get our best deals. Switch to Verizon, and for a limited time, plans start at just $50 per month for a single line with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone with unlimited welcome. That's a savings of $15 per month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love to stream, like Netflix and Max. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. A better plan to save is Verizon. This offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today. $180 BYOD promo credit per phone applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line with your own 4G or 5G smartphone on unlimited welcome plan required. $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line. Additional terms apply. In select markets only. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. For unlimited welcome plan in times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Let's get some Ross thoughts.
It's weird. It's funny. Sometimes.
It is sometimes.
It's Ross. Spelled like sauce.
And to be honest,
it's Ross Thoughts.
It's like a coin flip chance if you are laughing. I don't know if you're laughing with or if you're laughing at, but as long as it's got a ha 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 at the end of it, I think everything's gonna be okay.
That's a Diddy laugh.
So, love dinner, man. I love restaurants.
I do too, buddy.
What do you do when you first sit down in a restaurant and it's one of those white
white tablecloth, white linen.
White linen. It's one of them white linens.
The first thing I do is I anticipate the bread service, because almost always at a restaurant with white linen, you're going to get bread service, and I think that kind of tells the tale of what you're going to look forward to the rest of the meal. If you get good, inventive bread that's been fresh and it's good.
I think the first thing you're supposed to do, I don't know, I heard this a long time ago, I don't know if it's true, especially if it's rolled silverware, is to take the napkin and put it on your lap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But
that is supposed to be the first move, right?
Yeah.
But Jim,
I guess. I mean, I kind of assume that would already happen. So the first thing I do when I think about eating is wondering what the bread service is going to look like.
Some people don't do it till the food comes out.
Yeah.
And Jim, you're like a front collar, chest guy napkin. I've seen that before.
No, I just don't my
He's
lap.
more of a lobster bib
Yeah. Don't you eat like a Tasmanian devil?
Yeah, I do eat fast.
Yeah.
I've done a better job at slowing down, but I used to eat quite fast.
There's a cartoonish blur and then a plate full of rib bones right at the end of it.
The better it tastes, the worse I am. Like if it tastes really good, I wolf it down, and theoretically, I mean, you should not do that. You should savor it, but I'm bad at it sometimes.
Yeah. It's a willpower. I'm right there with you. When it tastes good, once it hits my lips, once the asada hits my lips,
it's too much.
Yeah. But so we're out to eat last night, and man, this is going to be weird. Because the game plan was Ray wanted to celebrate the news of good old Papa Padge that I'm going to be a dad allegedly in September. And so we went out and grabbed a drink to celebrate. There was a problem, though, because we all got a drink, and it was awesome. It was great. We were shooting the crap, as they say.
What'd you have?
I got a tequila old-fashioned.
A tequila old-fashioned, Jack old-fashioned?
Oh, yeah, Old Forester.
Yeah, there you go. Good whiskey.
And then I want to say...
What did he have?
I forgot, but it was something good and straight.
Was it a cocktail? Oh, okay.
No, he had a whiskey.
A whiskey.
Yeah. So we're all... And then all of a sudden, I'm like, man, I'm at a restaurant. It's like 8 o'clock. And I'm like...
Wow, Jack made a move.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm like, dude, I'm going to order food.
Okay. What's wrong with that? You're at a restaurant.
There's nothing wrong with that.
8 o'clock.
Well, so I go ahead, I order food. And then that spins off the domino effect of Jack going like, I'll get a salad. And then Ray goes, I'll get some food too. Now all of us have one drink, one entree. We're all eating. I had a chicken piccata, 5 stars, would do it again.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. Shout out to Capers, you salty little bastards. I love you guys.
That's got to be a new thing for those guys over there, because I haven't seen piccata on the menu before. That's awesome.
Ross was very satisfied with it.
Yeah, piccata's great.
One bite in, I was like, I'll do this again now.
Made well. It's for real.
All of a sudden, though, get a little thirsty.
Okay.
I go, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a second drink. I get a second drink. The first one tasted so good. The chicken piccata has got me thirsty.
Sure thing. Yeah.
I gotta wash the palate or whatever Jim says.
Yeah. Cleanse
the palate. I need a palate to be cleansed.
That's it. Scrub it.
So I get another drink. And now the problem is though, I'm the only one to get a drink.
Oh, the other two guys didn't have a second drink.
They didn't have a second drink.
Okay.
So I'm immediately in my head at that moment. Jack doesn't know this, but he probably does. I'm like, do I have a problem? Is this a problem? Why am I the only one?
Well, can I tell you, whiskey with pasta is a problem.
Well, that and it's, 2 family guys, end of the workday.
Yeah.
The deal was a drink.
Yeah.
Driving home.
Driving home.
But at least your wife's not pregnant waiting on you.
See, this...
Is that what happened?
Is what I'm getting at. Well, so I get home and my wife goes, "How was dinner?" And I'm like, "It was great." And then I tell her, I'm like, "But I was the only one who got 2 drinks." And she goes, "Oh, that's just who you are." I was like, "No, it's not. I don't want to be the only 2-drink guy." And then to make things even worse, to make things like this is really where the ethics and morals clash for me. Is that then Ray, being Ray, paid for the dinner.
Well, because he's the one who made the invitation to go take you out for
and
drinks.
And I didn't. When that invitation hit,
for drinks.
you see what I'm
for
saying?
Drinks.
So Ross gets in there with drinks and then says, you know what, I'll have a filet.
Right, exactly.
You know, and I got to tell you, maybe a filet to go.
Yeah. Not only that, so now I can tell him what really happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're walking in. He kind of announces as he goes, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting food.
Yeah, I'm getting food.
You know, and
I just didn't go in with the assumption that this was all going to be taken care of. So I acted like the way I was still walking in assuming that I was going to pay.
Right, you were ordering your food like it was coming off your bill.
Yeah.
And also with drinks, especially with that type of drink, I try and appreciate it. I'm looking at, 30 minutes or so, 30, 45 minutes to take care of that drink.
Yeah, 11 to $15 a piece.
Yeah,
10.
They were 10. It was reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Which is insane to
now
say.
I'm saying that.
And they got
now
you.
That's a thing that I say.
That means that they won.
But 5 minutes, we've had these drinks 5 minutes, and I see Ross, and all I see is the fruit on the bottom of his cup, and I'm like, wow.
Dog, you're supposed to enjoy that. That's a sipper, not a slammer.
Yeah, but I was thirsty for slamming.
Okay,
That's why you get a water back, and so if you're thirsty,
100.
Yeah, I think
did the
that's where I
water.
slipped up. Dude, I think I bombed that dinner last night, and I keep freaking out because I really like Ray.
Ray and I have been texting all day about it.
God, don't
Have you really?
say that.
You know they have. You know who started it? Oh, I'll give you one guess.
It was
because it certainly ain't Trindley. It ain't Trindley.
So, all right, fast forward this morning.
Well, yeah, it should be, Jack, to say thank you again for the evening last night and for the extended.
Listen, you can't be Bradshaw on that. Bradshaw's going to make sure he's covered there.
Well,
Bradshaw would never want me to have that on him in a million years, or anybody for that matter, but especially me. If I heard that Bradshaw didn't do that, I'd be out of my mind about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally texted, thanks again for last night. That was fun.
There you go.
See?
All right.
Insurance.
So,
and then Ray hit me back with, can you believe Ross?
No.
He did not.
But
Ray Trendley did not.
I just texted him and said, Ross ordered another drink.
Exactly. So, what's embarrassing is that I also texted him. I texted him this morning saying, hey, and I was so close to bringing up, I'm sorry about the chicken piccata in the second drink.
Well, that means, let's see, $10, $20.
I know, dude.
So your total bill had to, just your part of this had to have been $50.
Like a video game.
$50, right? Because the meal's got to be 18. Both the drinks are 20. So there's 18, 20, 40. Tax, probably you get a tea or a soda or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, $45 to $50 you cost.
It was supposed to be.
Jack got a salad and one drink.
But it was like an entree salad, right?
They're Cobb's nuggets.
Yeah. Oh, God, that thing's like
Yeah, so, in my defense, this guy ate a salad like a pig.
But he only did it because you did it. And then Ray ordered, so everything's fine. What was the total bill? Got to be like $130 or $40?
What did Ray order?
And thanks to the generosity of Ray Trendley, we don't know, because when the bill comes, he just said, bring me the bill, and it went to him, and you don't discuss it at that point.
What did Ray eat?
God, what did he eat? He had...
It was similar to yours.
Yeah, he wanted to eat an entree, but Ross had already had one.
Yeah.
And his credit card has a limit, so
he didn't have enough.
I think he had half a grilled cheese thing.
He got something off the kids menu.
I just
chicken nuggets, some egg and cheese, happy sauce.
Trying to save the bill a little bit.
Yeah.
I have not been in that situation.
Okay, so now you know, though, right?
Now I know. So if someone goes
if I invite you to lunch, you can expect that I'm going to pay.
And that you're going to eat.
Right. So if I say, hey, look, you guys, meet me at Sneed's or whatever, we're going to have lunch today, you can assume that when you walk in, unless something else happens, I'm picking the tab up. But don't quote me on that because I don't want you to throw it on my face.
Yeah. And always reach for your wallet. But
always.
Ray was quick on it. Ray was quick. He's like, bring me the...
Most of the time, people like that will tell the server up front before they even bring any drinks, I'm the payer. That's what I do.
But then it's weird. Okay, so then if that's the situation, then I will follow suit. What you're telling me, though, is that if you walk up to me and you go, hey, let's go out and get some drinks. I go, hell yeah. And I go out and you grab the first round. And then halfway through the first round, I'm like, they got pretzels and pimento cheese here. And I am in the mood for some pretzels and pimento cheese.
I'd be down for that.
So, but then
It's different with nibbles versus an entree,
Yeah,
especially when the invitation was for drinks.
And I assume at that point that we're going to get snacks, but you almost always follow the payer's lead, right? So if Ray says, you know what, guys, I'm going to grab a sandwich. You want anything? Or I'm going to grab a sandwich. Or I'm going to eat. Let them set the pace. If it's just drinks, follow the lead there. Read the room kind of thing.
Yeah. And not like as we're walking through the parking lot into the door, you smack him in the arm and say, I'm eating. You're good, right?
No, that's not what he did.
Well, I just threw out when I was walking in. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get something to eat as well because it's 7:30. I'm hungry. I'm at a restaurant.
Did you hear him sigh as if his kid said, I want another PlayStation?
Dude,
No, Ross was ahead. I heard him say, I guess I'll find an ATM.
Yeah. I dropped the ball. I got to get better at dinners.
I'm texting Ray so I can ask him to ask me out for dinner real quick.
Yeah. Right. So thanks, Ray, for the 2 tequila old fashions and the chicken piccata.
Do you know who I have this battle with? I have this battle with 2 people, 2 clients of ours. That happens all the time. One is Leon Mills. Let me tell you something. You have to be a Fed to get your credit card into the server before Leon Mills does. I think he calls in advance and pays before he even gets there. And the other one is Clausman.
Yeah.
You have to be crafty to get a bill before Clausman pays because he likes paying. It's a power move.
Like, it didn't hit me what that dinner was, what getting those drinks was, until he paid, when I realized, like, oh, man, was that... I walked into this restaurant with the intention of, like, hell yeah, me and the boys just at a restaurant. And then I kind of forgot that it was a treat.
Well, you made it a treat.
Outside of Ross's behavior, it was a lovely time.
Very nice.
Those are your Ross thoughts. I'll grab another drink if I can.
Yeah, right. If you can.
Another piccata.
I've got Ray's card. Go get it.
Yeah, I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Introducing the latest way to hear the greatest station in the world. Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1. You're welcome, iPhone users.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traveling on I-4, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic westbound between Osceola Parkway and approaching State Road 429. The left lane is blocked on Kirkman Road southbound at Major Boulevard. Expect delays there. There's stop-and-go traffic on State Road 429 due to an accident northbound approaching West Road. Traffic is backed up to Winter Garden Vineland Road. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Going stir crazy with your pet? Invisible Fence brand works in any weather so you can stay warm while your dog gets their energy out in the yard. Their local pet experts work with you to create a customized solution tailored to fit your pet. Learn more about how pets like yours gain independence at InvisibleFence.com.
Improve the look of your home, save money on your utility bills, and reduce noise with new windows from Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen windows are built with their exclusive Fibrex material. That's 2 times stronger than vinyl, and they feature the most energy-efficient glass they've ever offered. And every single window is custom built with your specs in mind, your hardware choices, the look, style, and feel of your specialty windows. They're locally owned and operated, and everything is made in the USA. And Renewal by Andersen products are backed by some of the strongest warranties you will find. Renewal by Andersen has a great offer to help you get started. Now through the month of February, buy 4 windows and or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Some restrictions apply. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go to rbafla.com for complete details. License number CGC 1527613.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Make your dream of a new Pavers driveway, pool deck, beautiful patio, and artificial turf a reality with Pavers Depot. Join us at the largest Pavers showroom in Central Florida. Over 400,000 square feet in stock, including Tamron brand pavers. Pavers Depot can get your job done in just 2 weeks with a free estimate on custom installation. Visit online at paversdepot.com or call 407-839-5900. 407-839-5900. paversdepot.com.
Is that a horse?
Actually, it's a wild stallion. Since Navy Federal Credit Union's Platinum Card made it easier to tame our holiday debt, I wanted to see if I could tame something else.
Uh-huh.
Help me saddle up. I need to pick the kids up from school.
With a low intro APR on balance transfers, the Platinum Credit Card lets you take control of your debt. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/Platinum offer. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Tommy Mello here, owner at A1 Garage Doors. When I was growing up, my mom had to work 3 jobs to save our house. I love my mom. She's the most important person in the world to me. When she moved into her new house recently, I looked at the parts that the builder put on her garage. Parts that were designed to break, and the first thing I thought was to replace the springs, rollers, and hinges, and I also added decorative hardware to make the house look beautiful. Did you know the garage makes up 40% of your home's curb appeal? I wanted my mom's garage to not only look good, but it had to work right too. When I started A1 Garage, I thought about my mom, and I thought, I'm going to treat everyone just like my mother. Call today for our $129.99 tune-up special to keep all those nasty bugs and winter out of your garage. And remember, the garage door is the smile of your home. So don't wait. Call A1 Garage Door Service, and you'll be smiling today.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Are your energy costs through the roof? FAS Windows and Doors is now offering buy 3, get 1 free windows on any project. This is a plain and simple deal that homeowners can receive at the time of signing. FAS also offers 24-month financing. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 24 months with this new financing option available from FAS. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS Windows and Doors today or visit us online at FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Paid for by government.com. Here's your chance to get 5 iconic United States silver dollars spanning the last 150 years in one amazing set. Experts agree this is a must-have for silver coin buyers. That's right, all 5 silver dollars are legal tender official United States mint coins. If you call 1-800-386-7194 right now, we'll send you this ultimate 5-piece American silver dollar set with each silver coin in extremely fine or brilliant uncirculated condition. Guaranteed. This set includes every type of U.S. silver dollars in American history, issued from 1878 to 2024. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 150 years of U.S. silver dollars 5-piece set. Plus, receive a bonus display case, an information booklet, and free shipping. Don't miss your chance. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 5-piece set of iconic U.S. silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-386-7194.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Vinyl Experience. Music legends experienced through the authentic sound of vinyl. The Rolling Stones, Tom Petty, Pink Floyd, The Police, and so many more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Vinyl Experience, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
This hour of programming is brought to you by My Home Builders Network. Need new windows? Then you need Mike and his team at hbnusa.com.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Hey y'all, I know it's been a while since I checked in, low T here, but I just had to check in after listening to the ABBA information Jimmy was giving out, and I was so taken at the level of cheapness that they made their clothes so they could file them against their taxes. This is how cheap ABBA was. They got Jack Bradshaw to say, wow. Either wow, he's amazed at their level of cheapness, or wow, he thinks they're his heroes now. I don't know.
Well, they didn't really blow up until the Eurovision thing hit. So, I mean, before that, I don't know how. But a couple of the guys were in bands that were successful before ABBA. So, I mean, it's like they had music writing credits. They actually had a hit before they joined the group with the 2 girls and formed ABBA.
So, wow, as in, I was shocked that they went that far, considering how much money they ended up making. at how much they were saving just to be able to write off some clothing.
Yeah.
Because it was actually a conversation 25 years ago I had with my CPA, that same guy I saw this past weekend. And we talked about with my wife, and her singing is about writing off the clothes. And he said, unless it is something that can in no way, shape, or form be worn outside of performing, you don't do it. Yeah, if it can be used for both purposes, you cannot do that. So we never went down that road.
Yeah, with the apathy. By the way, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. I am Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. With that case, because I did the same thing when I was with the Monster Show. We did the band thing years and years ago. Back in the 90s, we had a little, like I say goof band. It wasn't like a goof band. There were professional musicians in it, but we played like parody songs and stuff that we wrote. And it was a big deal. I mean, we sold thousands of tickets doing it. But I remember that entire run for about 6 years. I claimed costuming because there was stuff that we would buy to wear on the stage, and I would never wear that stuff. I say never. I mean, rarely wear that stuff out and around, because I would have like flame shoes and and glitter boots and stuff like that. It wasn't stupid.
So, but you did just say that you would wear glitter boots every now and then outside of it.
I wore the flame shoes one time to a gig. It were these 3-inch heel. They looked like regular business shoes, but they were glitter and had flames on them.
So was the brand? What was the brand? Was it called tax fraud? Tax evasion?
Yeah. But never got any trouble with that, because it wasn't a bunch of money. It was just a few $100s that we would claim, and then you all your equipment and stuff. Did you get what you wanted out of your? Do you know how much everything's going to be?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I filed. They accepted it, which that's the new thing now. When you e-file, my accountant, he calls me back to say they accepted it, which means no one else tried to pretend they were me with my Social Security card.
Wow.
Because he goes, that's a huge fraud thing.
Sure.
If someone else tries to use your Social Security number, they won't. When you try to submit yours, that's when you find out that, nope, we've already received that return for that card.
God, could you imagine?
That's why he always lets me know they've accepted it. I should have the money in a day or two.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, that's it's the only, if you are filling it out and mailing it in, you are killing yourself. I mean, you could get that money in a week.
I can't believe how much faster. It used to be 2 weeks, and the last time I did it, I had it, within days.
Yeah.
I had it within days.
Now, do you do it early because you know you're going to get money back, or do you think you're going to get money back? Because I wait to the very last minute because I know almost always I have to pay.
Yeah, well, I do it early because I like getting it done so I don't have to think about it anymore and just check that box.
All right.
He's proactive. He's better at being a human.
He is. He's better.
And because I get money back.
Yeah.
Because
significant enough to do something cool with?
Usually, yeah. Because of, with my wife as a gig worker, I have more taxes taken out of my money. So it's, I know the goal, you want to get down to zero so you're not overpaying to get it back.
Yeah.
But, it's almost like a vacation.
So there was a period of life, back when the kids were relatively young, that we knew we were going to get a certain amount, and that's the money we used for our family vacation almost every single year, because we knew it was going to be a couple grand. And that ended. But that's how it was for a while. When you have kids to write off, you get money back. It's
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
That's a thing, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
I know I'm down to the last one, and she's aging out.
Let me tell you what. One of the biggest arguments I ever got into with my father was I dropped out of college without telling him. And when he told me, because this is me being stupid and young and I'm just going to get out there and work and just not understanding the world at all. I think it was 19. And I said, yeah, I just dropped out. I want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I just want to work. I know I can make money now, blah, 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 blah. And he looks at me and he was so mad. He goes, you can't even imagine what you just did to me. He goes, now I can't claim you as a dependent on my tax form, because I was living with him at the time, and I had to be in school past 18 years old to be claimable. I believe that's how it goes. And I dropped out, therefore I ruined that. And it was, he deserved to be angry.
Well, I disagree.
Yeah, no, he deserved to be angry.
He lived with him.
I lived with him for free.
Yeah,
and he helped me get into college. I deserved. Matter of fact, I probably still owe him an apology to this day. Although he probably doesn't even remember it, but it was a pretty bad scene.
We recommend you give it to him.
Yeah. I just give him back the money.
The apology.
And how old were you?
Probably 19, buddy. 18, 19, something like that. I moved here at 17 years old. So I started college when I was 17. Excuse me. Yeah, 17 years old.
I didn't even know you could do that.
18, actually, because I graduated. Yeah, I was going to say because I'm born in December. It's weird as you cycle through that. I was 18, started in 1986.
See, in that instance, I understand that you are living with him, living there. But I bet you, if you dropped out of school, right? You kept living there, right?
Yeah.
And you got a job?
Yeah, I started working. Yes.
And then you started paying him.
Well, no, I didn't pay rent.
So,
but I wasn't there much longer after that.
See,
Once that was the case, I started working for his print shop, and then basically that turned poor as well.
See, I think that's far more flagrant than dropping out of school and ruining his taxes.
I mean, Jack, if that happened to you, would you be upset?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not saying it's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
But I still look at what your choice was as not illogical. You were doing something that you didn't want to do anymore.
Hard to explain that to a father. Can I tell you? It'd be hard for my son to explain that to me. Like I would be like, you should have spoken to me about this beforehand. You don't understand the ramifications of your decisions, and it just wasn't a good move.
But,
and in my case, I got told that in a very high tone.
So in that instance, when you said that you would be upset that if your son did that to you, how would you not be able to, or why you would inevitably, you would look back on your own actions and go, I did this to my dad that same exact way?
Yes, no question. But it doesn't mean I won't be upset about it. I mean, I could understand and be upset about it. I wouldn't ostracize my son or throw him out.
But sure, I don't think there's ever going to be a good news moment if your kid walks up to you and goes, I dropped out of college.
Yeah, unless you won the lottery or
But I'm not saying, but even with that bummer, that's still a young adult expressing their independence.
Yeah.
And I would think that with your interaction with your dad, and if your son did that to you, that you could still be upset. I agree with you being upset, but I would think that you would have a better understanding, or it would be easier for you to empathize in that scenario.
Dads don't really look at it like that. My dad was not really concerned with whether I was going to go out there and make my path at that point. The goal was go to college, get a degree, enter the workforce with your degree and go forward. That's the thing. So,
it was also taxes. He was benefiting.
He was, no question. But I mean, that was not the goal. That was a byproduct of the goal, which was to get me in college and get me into a career that would be a professional career, because there are none of those in my family.
Yeah.
Like I can name right now there is no one in my immediate family, that has a college degree. Not one person.
A lot of families are like that.
Yeah. I mean, do you have anybody does anybody in your family have a degree?
My brother, but he has a music degree.
That's a degree.
Does that,
Jack has a degree, so he and his family, he's right there. You business admin or do communications? Yeah. Naomi, no degree?
No.
Yeah, none of the kids yet?
No, a 2-year for one, and the other one will have a 2-year in a couple months.
Yeah, I've got my daughter is currently doing her thing with her military, and my son is in college now for radiography, something like that. So he's doing that. So, but we don't have anybody degreed. My daughter, I think, is currently seeking an art degree, and I think she has got a few credits left. And my other daughter has a great career already, so she shouldn't really need it.
Out of all of my college graduate friends, and we'll say ballpark 7 or 8 super, super close friends. They are brothers, people that I grew up with. Out of those 7 or 8, 2 of them out of the 7 or 8 that went to college and have a degree. And I think I might be the only one out of really all of my friends that don't have a college degree. There's 2 of them I would trade for.
Yeah.
And then I look at the
in
other.
Other words, you'd swap places with.
Well, I should say trade for. I look at 2 of them and I go, all right, the juice was
worth the
obviously
squeeze,
worth the squeeze.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the other 5 or 6, I'm like, I'm sorry about the debt.
Yeah. God, can I tell you, just thinking about this, I don't even know in my immediate group of friends, like my crew that I talk about all the time, I don't think one of them has a degree. Not one.
Yeah, At least for me.
Is that bad?
To a certain extent. I don't think it is bad. I
don't know.
think
All my people just work hard. They all my friends are just blue collar workers, have good careers, make great money, but they don't have degrees.
I don't know. It's easy for me to say because I'm incredibly biased here.
Yeah.
But depending on the degree and depends on the person, but I think a lot of the time severely overrated.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Deb, all your friends, any of your friends have degrees?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Do they really?
And an equal amount don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Chris have a degree?
Yes.
UCF. Yeah, okay. And then yours is from?
University of Wisconsin
That's right.
Stout, but I only finished 2 years.
Oh, gotcha. And then Jack is
Some
from
of
UCF.
us knew that, Deb.
Yeah. I knew that you went to school. I knew you didn't finish, but I didn't know how far. I couldn't remember if it was 3 years or 2 years.
2 years. I was going to finish my art degree when I came down to Florida.
Yeah.
Only to find at the time that not a lot of really good art schools in Florida, except for there was a design school in Fort Lauderdale I always wanted to go to.
I think one of one of the wives of a friend has a degree in interior design. I'm really racking my brain. Jack, does your group of people, like the people that you hang out with, are they degreed? Not many? The four of us?
Yeah.
How many people in this building have a degree? Does anybody on the News Junkie have a degree? C-Lane?
Sabrina.
Did she graduate?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I think on the Monsters, it's just Ryan Holmes, right? Or no, Angel has a degree. He has a communications degree from UCF. And then I think Holmesy has a degree.
Well, yeah, Angel played college basketball.
Carlos doesn't. Russ doesn't.
Right.
Savannah doesn't. I don't know about Angelique. I don't know much about her, but I don't think any of those guys have them either.
I can tell you the exact moment where I was like, "Whoa, college is not for me." Is when I spent $450 on a book.
On one book, yeah.
One book.
A lab.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, that's my rent. I can't. What?
Yeah, my son just ordered one and it came in and he'd been waiting for it for like 2 weeks. The class has already been going and he's been using a borrow, and that's how hard they are to get.
I'll even double down a little bit harder. I think it neighbors on predatorial when it comes to colleges and loans to me.
Well, I mean,
you're grabbing them at their youngest age possible and going, you have to do this. It just seems.
I just read a paragraph from a friend of mine, a close friend, who put up a blurb about this discharging of college debt, this latest $1.5 billion discharging of college debt. And somebody obviously came at her about it, and she wrote about a 3-paragraph thing about that entire thing. It was kind of interesting to read.
Like I feel this text says I have a $100,000 degree in political science. I'm a server at Disney.
Yeah. I knew a guy who had a master's in accounting. Tried to open his own firm, and I told the story before. Remember Fulton's Crab House at Disney Springs?
Yes.
It's that looks like an old riverboat.
Yeah.
It was there forever. It's always been an upper level restaurant. It used to be called the Empress Lily, which was a real high level dining place. This guy was part of my regular golf game, and he'd gotten his degree, and he goes, "Hey guys, not going to be seeing you much anymore. I'm off to my accounting firm." Got an accounting job. 3 weeks later, he comes back in the golf game. We're like, "Hey, we thought you disappeared." He goes, "Can't make any money." He goes, "I could make more money serving tables at the Empress Lily than I could with my degree as an accountant."
And I mean, my friend's kind of going through that same exact thing. Yeah, elite server, very good at waiting tables, and it kind of even took a little bit of pride in that job.
Yeah.
And now he went to school. He has a nursing degree. He's still back in school, but he was making more as a server than a nurse.
And the thing is with that server money, I mean, again, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do this, but you have a little power over how much you make there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sways. If you put in a little bit more, you can get a little bit more back. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is you get to claim what you think is right.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Tax-wise.
You make $1,000 that night in cash. That was a great $300 night.
Now, the thing about nursing, and because I've had that conversation with my best friend, the reason why he still loves it and is about it and is pursuing it is because the ceiling essentially does not exist if you are in the medical field.
In this state, buddy, let me tell you, you're printing money.
Yeah.
Like I told my kids, go get any job in the medical business. You're printing money. You'll never not have a job in the state. Never, ever.
If you're a traveling nurse, woo.
All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, what was your first job again? Did you ever wait tables? Did you ever serve?
Yeah.
Where, at like a diner or something? Where did you do that?
At a diner, Mark's Big Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did
where
you
I
ever-
was the takeout chicken hostess.
Oh, really?
What was the
roller skates? Draw a picture.
What was the name of the diner? I love a good name diner.
I think it was the Iris Cafe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was when I was in college working. I've always, food service was, some people work in clothing retail. Mine was always food service.
Well, there's a diner lover in this, but used to be in this building. Phillips.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't know that I've had a meal with Jim Phillips that wasn't in a diner. My man loved diners. Linda's Diner right there on Fairbanks was the stomp. That's where he was. I don't know where he goes now, but that was the stomp for the longest time.
I went to a Johnny's Diner.
Oh, yeah?
A new one that just opened up. I had a blast. And every time I go into a diner, I'm like, man, the vibes. And every time the food always tastes like Cisco.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Well, the good thing is my hometown has, I believe, the oldest operating diner in one of the oldest operating diners in America, actually. It's called Angel's Diner. It's been there, I think, since the 20s, 100 years.
Wow.
And I don't think they've changed that grill once. Legendary cheeseburger, by the way. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We got a little last call action happening. Load them up. All lines are open. A little joke, little callback, something fun. It's your turn to do this show. You know what to do. 407-916-1041. All lines open. Grab one, and we'll do last call right after this.
Got something to say?
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Party.
Call now, 407-916-1041. Last call, sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250, keyword free hard scan.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, everybody. Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. Lots of sunshine for Wednesday. Enjoy it. Temperatures in the mid-80s because clouds are returning heading through the rest of the week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. Rising shower chances as we go forward through those days. The highest rain chance looks to be on Sunday as a system will be slowly coming across the Gulf. Nothing severe or super heavy, but there will be a good chance of showers on Sunday.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
I had so many dreams, but life quickly got in the way. Then Rasmussen University saw my true potential and gave me the support and confidence I needed to become who I am today. Rasmussen University. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Man, here in Central Florida, you know the deal. It was warm today. This weekend it was cold, but that is Florida, man. In the spring, you never know what it's going to be. 85 one day, 65 the next. That's why it's so important to have an AC company that you can lean on and trust every day of your life. And for me and for Ross and for Deb's mom, it's Mills Air. And hundreds of Central Florida families have leaned on these guys to keep their ACs running properly and let them use those 30 years of experience dealing with Central Florida heat and making sure that your AC never quits on you. Their preventive maintenance plan is a must. Their techs know these brands inside and out. They're Carrier factory authorized dealers, and that's important because here's the deal. If you do happen to need a new unit, these guys are Carrier factory authorized dealers. That's up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today and schedule that very important appointment. Do it before summer gets here and while there's time. It's 407-277-1159. Online, it's easy. MillsAir.com.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. Anywhere from when we have a live event, there be customer events ahead of that. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without the relationship iHeart has with the artists, with venues to create these really exclusive events, festivals that iHeart puts on, gives Capital One the ability to create those moments. People are passionate about their favorite artists, and so we try to tap into that together.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local, every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, And all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
The hit true crime podcast Paper Ghosts is back with a haunting mystery in the shadows of the Ozarks. Season 4 unravels a darkly intriguing cold case from 1989 as a community continues to search for answers about a missing girl, various suspects, and a potential connection to BTK.
It's gone from, okay, we don't think something's quite right, to there's some worry going on now because now we've found some of her clothing.
Listen to Paper Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you keep your money in a bank account, listen up. The banking system is once again under extreme stress. And after last year's banking crisis, the dangers are clearer than ever. Car loans are defaulting. Credit card debt is ballooning. Commercial real estate is on the brink of collapse. These aren't just red flags. They are the sounds of a financial ticking time bomb. But there is a safe and easy way to protect your financial future. Gold. Gold is outside the government's reach and safe from economic policies that jeopardize your wealth. Gold allows you to lock in today's value in the face of tomorrow's uncertainty. Don't wait for the next headline, crash, or bank run to act. Contact Noble Gold Investments today. As a bonus, they'll give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin as a thank you for opening a qualified account. Just use the promo code GOLD. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Orlando? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Orlando for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. Orlando's the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Orlando and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
This is Jeff Kaufman from the Injury Law Firm of Kaufman & Lind and the Under Oath podcast. A little more free advice. Any conversation you have with the insurance company after you get into an accident will be recorded. Everything you say can and will be used against you. For example, when they ask you how you're doing, these are not words of concern. These are traps to keep them from paying your medical expenses. Simply reply with, I've been told to avoid answering questions like this. It's not if, but when you get into an accident. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546.
Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Orlando Magic Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Get ready for our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, presented by The Hartford, live at South by Southwest. March 11th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year, and you'll help decide who wins Podcast of the Year. Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Are you looking for some non-dairy deliciousness? Discover the rich, creamy taste of Planet Oat oat milk. Planet Oat oat milk is an excellent source of calcium with only 4 grams of sugar or less. Enjoy it in cereal, coffee, smoothies, or by the glass. Pick it up in your local grocery store today.
Find your new career. The Florida Jobs Now Job Fair, March 13th at the Orlando Science Center. More info at fljobsnow.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Kind of a challenge when me and my father go out to dinner with our families because both of us have to try to sneak away in the beginning of dinner to let the waitress know to make sure we get the bill because we fight over who pays it. Yeah. So, I got to use the bathroom, pull the waitress aside. Hey, make sure you get me the bill. And then it's like, you SOB. Can't believe you just did that. Yeah, it's a fun game. We have a good time.
That's a Leon Mills
Love
movie.
the show, guys.
Thank
have
you,
a
buddy.
good night.
Appreciate it. That's a Leon Mills movie. He loves it. Me and Leon and his beautiful wife, Lori, and my wife went out to a pretty nice restaurant a few weeks back. Or I say a few weeks back, a couple months back. And my man was slippery. He made an eye movement. And like when the server walked behind, he'd put his credit card behind him, and nobody even knew it had happened. Like when we're like, hey, we got to go. It's time to go because we're going to see a show after dinner. I'm like, well, we got to pay. And he goes, it's done. And he just laughed at me. I'm like, he hates it. All right, 407. I asked him to go out so much. That's why.
My favorite is you still talking to the talkbacks.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. All right, 407-916-1041. Yeah. I don't expect him to talk back. At least that.
You do. You do, though.
I don't.
You're like
I don't ask him questions.
It's
all right, welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here, and Jack is here, and Ross is here as well.
I like how he says, it was a few weeks ago. Oh, maybe a few months. It's like, we don't know. Like we don't know he's nowhere near the right time frame.
I'm going to tell you, it might not be this century, Jack, if I'm just being honest with you.
Do you talk back to voicemails?
Yeah, no. Stop.
I'm just saying.
All right, coming up tomorrow, we have
your friends.
we have Animal House tomorrow. We have Scott Maxwell tomorrow. Who's in for Animal House tomorrow?
Daryl Payne. So if you have a problem with a young pup or an old dog and you'd like some of the best advice you'll get in all of Central Florida, Daryl Payne will be on for 2 segments tomorrow for Animal House.
You know what the funny thing is? I have a.
Let me make sure that's true.
I have an actual question for him.
Really?
My little dog Sadie is starting to do something she never did before, and I want to know why that's happening. So we're gonna find out what that is.
You'll be able to ask Daryl Payne of Paw Action Dog Training.
And it's not good. It's
eating
not
her
good.
poop?
No. It has nothing to do with that. It's how she reacts to me lately.
Graffiti.
So I'm kind of interested in how that's happening or why that's happening.
Have you scolded her recently?
No. But when she is laying up against my wife and she's kind of settled in, and I reach over to kind of pet her or maybe pull over so I can, and she bites me.
Really?
I mean, nothing crazy. It's not one of those bites like she's trying to hurt me. It's an attention bite. It's an attention bite. But she's been doing it pretty prevalently now for the last few weeks. And my wife thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. But I do not. And I don't want her to get a habit of like doing that.
Yeah, no.
So I gotta figure out what to do.
You can put me, I think probably Jack too. I don't know about Deb, but you can put Jack and me in the category with your wife. We find it hilarious.
All right, 407-916-1041. We do have 3 lines open for last call if you want to grab one of those. 407-916-1041. Like I said, a little joke, something short and fun. Make us laugh. That's the goal. Again, it's 407-916-1041. 3 lines open. Grab one now. Deb, who do we have to thank today?
Well, we want to thank Scott Brown with Edgewater Family Wealth. Love how that guy calls us today from Arizona, last week from Colorado. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running that YouTube chat.
Absolutely. By the way, if you want to find out what Scott had to say today, JimCorbettLive.com, go to the goods. Jack will put that up, or you can hear every single thing about it while you're there. Give us a like and a subscribe on our YouTube channel. That helps us out quite a bit. And if you want to book your appointment or book your seminar, EdgewaterFamilyWealth.com. The next opening is March 27th. And remember, that happens at Del Frisco's. They do give you lunch, and the seminar doesn't cost a nickel. Jack, question of the day.
Do you like the neighborhood where you live?
Man, I don't know, buddy. I got to tell you. I think it's... Man, I'll go 50-50.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's worse.
People are a little more satisfied and don't feel the need to move 3 times in 5 years. 84% say yes.
Really? Wow. That's impressive. That's damn good. Yeah. I was way off there. I'm on a cold run. I haven't guessed one of these things even close in a while.
Oh, yeah, you have.
No.
Yeah, you're not in tune with the common man.
Yeah, I'm not. Not anymore, Jack.
We got to step up.
Stand up.
Yes. March 30th, I'm going to be out in Ocala at the Marion Theater. You can get your tickets on Ross Comedy. I know that's a far ways away, but I love Ocala, and I'm just really excited to be back.
Yeah, Ocala's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Beautiful up there. By the way, that real estate market up there is absolutely melting down. It's so hot.
Can't get a DUI on a horse. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Which isn't fair. Right. Unless the horse is drunk, then yeah, but whatever.
All right, let's do it here. We only get a couple of these today, so it's going to be fast here. Chuck, how you doing? Last call.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Hi.
I like my neighborhood, but where I come from, population changes. A girl gets pregnant, there's a guy leaving town.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, yeah.
That was.
That's a population change.
Mike, take us home.
Baby come, baby daddy leave.
Last call. Jesus almighty.
Slip it in there real quick there, Bradshaw.
When you guys are done talking and laughing, I'll go ahead.
I will hang up on your ass so fast.
Oh, my God, Mike. Stay in your lane, dude.
You literally have no idea.
Slow your roll.
I need to get back in my lane. After 5 years, I do have a degree in last call. Mike Buzzer Larson here. At Evans High School, I learned how to do parallelograms instead of taxes. You know what, Jimmy?
What, buddy?
It really comes in handy at parallelogram season. Quit talking, me the buzzer!
Thanks, buddy.
And that's what we stopped talking for? Mike, that was it? You scolded us for that?
All right. He said, how often? You didn't wake up thinking, I'm going to hear the word parallelogram.
I don't think I've ever heard.
Isn't it parallelogram as well?
I think so.
I just want to make sure I'm right there. All right, coming up tomorrow, Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel, Daryl Payne for Animal House. Like Deb said, if you have any issues with your animal's behavior, free advice tomorrow with our buddy Daryl Payne, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the corporate time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Tuesday evening, guys.
Bye. See you Wednesday.
But I still love you.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.